So, who's leading?
Well, it's Alex's turn, but as he's shit, I'll do it.
Okay.
Have we actually started?
Yeah. See,
He is shit. It's very professional, Alex. Well done.
I'm doing research.
I'm
What are you doing research
I'm
on?
so glad by take 3 you've got that.
There's two bits of news this week. What are you doing research on?
Well, if you interrupt me, I could tell
Fine,
you.
okay.
Interruption!
What?
Newsflash.
Newsflash. What?
Christopher Lee is dead.
Christopher Lee dead at 93.
Yeah. Well, he's dead on Sunday apparently, but...
Oh yeah, well, it happens, people die.
Especially at 93.
Sorry, that made me sound like I really don't care. No, I was just first of all going to say that whenever breaking news like this happens, we've normally recorded the night before.
That's why I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, it is.
But it's a sad day for cinema.
It is. He was
Just
in an
cinema.
awful lot of
I think
films.
the world.
Yeah.
The music world, he recorded a couple of heavy metal albums in the last few
war
years.
world, unless you're German.
The world war.
The world of James Bond.
Yes.
All based on Mr. Lee. He was busy mates with Ian Fleming.
His cousin.
Cousin? Yeah, but I've got cousins I'm not friends with.
I've got cousins I haven't seen in years, to be honest.
Where's our best friend? You're like... no, you're not my best friend.
What?
Paul's
Rude.
close.
David, your
And
best
he's not
friend.
my cousin. Yeah, David is my best friend. It's a bit,
And he's like
bit
the
of a
most
shame, isn't it?
antisocial.
yeah. It
Not
feels like...
antisocial. Socially awkward.
Yeah.
Inept.
Socially inept. I hope
Person. I hope you're listening, David.
Love you. Anyway, yeah, Christopher Lee's dead.
He is.
So what was your favourite Christopher Lee role? And then we'll stay
In cinema.
Yeah, in
Can I
cinema.
not have him as a World War II veteran having malaria 6 times in one day?
Yeah, well...
Because that was probably my favourite moment.
I like.
How do you get malaria 6 times in a day?
I don't know, but he managed it.
It was the story that was it. Peter Jackson told him to imagine what it was like being stabbed in the back or
Yeah.
something.
He
And
said,
he
"I
makes
don't-
that noise. He's like, I don't
have to imagine.
I know what a man being stabbed sounds like. Men being stabbed can't scream because their chest collapses as you plunged a knife in.
Yeah,
Alright,
He's a bit
badass.
cool, to be honest.
Which is why I like the bit when Greener stabs him, which isn't even in the film. I quite like it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Remember,
Did you like him in Star Wars?
Count Dooku.
Yeah.
I did. You got to remember, he started acting in 1947.
Yeah, after he'd already been in the World War II.
I don't think they called it World War II then, did they? What did
I think they called it World War II then.
Did they?
Yeah. They didn't call World
It
War
wasn't,
One.
because it was
World
actually
War
on QI, I remember.
Okay.
I don't remember what it was.
World War II. Because the first war they called the Great War.
Yeah, but then when World War II happened, they renamed that one World War One. That's what I think.
I thought it was a while afterwards. I thought it wasn't until.
So what did they call the second one while it was happening though? It was obviously the Second World War.
Was it?
Well, I think there
Wouldn't it
might
have been the Second Great War?
I think there were wars that involved more nations earlier in history.
Probably.
Like the Napoleonic Wars stretched to the Americas.
Yeah.
So
The American Civil War, many would argue, is an extension of the Napoleonic Wars.
there we go. This is
Yeah.
We've gone off tangent from Christopher.
How are we supposed to do a
He'd be
movie
proud.
podcast?
He'd be proud of this history discussion.
We're doing history.
So favourite Christopher Lee film? I really like that Lord of the Rings thing he was in.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
I might have seen him in something.
It was a
else.
little
If you've got
low budget.
List, I'll have a look.
It was a bit low budget for me.
Let me see if I can find his acting credits.
We looked him up once.
200.
We were doing a game where to see.
Who's got the most
who's got the most-
IMDb
yeah.
titles
I'm
on?
sure it was at least 270.
I'm
And
sure it was,
there was something
yeah.
like 7 in a 12-month period or something.
Oh, no, he didn't. He'd been Dracula 7 times in a
Oh,
12
that was
month
it.
period, plus other films.
That was
he
it,
did.
yeah.
It's ridiculous. I do like him as Scaramanga. I think he's a good Bond villain. As Count Dooku, I thought he was alright. I don't think he understood what the plot was, because I didn't understand what the plot was when I was watching like Attack of the Clones, because like, there's so much subterfuge that George Lucas didn't explain. Because he's playing an ex-Jedi that's actually a Sith, but not the Sith that's ordered the clones. It's like it's all over the place. And I don't think he actually gets called Darth Tyrannus in the film, and that's who he is.
It's been a long time.
There are so many jokes about Sith naming procedures.
Yeah,
I mean, Darth Tyrannus.
yeah.
That's
that
not
was
really his
that was
name,
Count
actually.
Dooku. Yeah. But you see, you've watched them more recently than I have, and
Yeah.
you didn't know that was what the Sith Lord was called. He just
No.
gets called Count Dooku the whole time.
Yeah. That's just...
Did you know he was offered the role of Dr. No?
Was he?
And he turned it down.
So that made it kicked off that random guy's career who was in nothing else.
Yeah, not much.
Who became
There's
Doctor
a thing on
No.
IMDb. So Christopher Lee, A Life in Pictures.
275 films.
Oh, you were close, Alex.
Oh, Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
Good stuff. He
I'm
actually had eye failure during his first flight as a pilot, so he couldn't be a pilot, so he went into the SAS.
I like
Got malaria 6 times
I like-
in under a year.
SAS is like his fallback plan.
That's his. Oh, I can't be a pilot.
Yeah.
I may as well do this. That is awesome.
Any other Christopher Lee snippets? Anyone?
He's the only one in the Lord of the Rings movie cast who
To have
actually
met Tolkien.
Yes.
I've
Who
got the
told him
interest-
he should play
Doesn't
Gandalf.
he read?
Yeah.
He used to read the book like every year. or
Yeah,
something.
he's heavily in the special features on the DVDs, like more than any other cast member. And yeah, Alex is right. Tolkien said, like he gave his okay to him playing Gandalf. He's like, you're the only person that can play Gandalf.
But he didn't. He played.
Yeah, I
Sam.
know.
Oh, okay.
Because when they actually cast it, Tolkien was long dead. Ian McKellen's
Oh.
better.
I've
But then,
just-
because of what Tolkien had said to Christopher Lee, they then gave him the pity fuck of Saruman and then cut him out of the
I've
third
just
film.
decided my favourite is actually he did the voice of death in Terry Pratchett's The Colour of Magic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
He climbed Mount Vesuvius 3 days before it erupted.
It erupted because he'd been up
Yeah.
there.
Yes, I think
It was so exciting. It's like, oh my god, that's Christopher Lee!
Did
the
he
volcano
did he
came.
splash the volcano and disrupt the mountain gods?
That was the best news story ever. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. But I shouldn't mock other people's beliefs. They believe that there's a mountain god, and
A British student can upset him, yeah.
she should have
Makes
been a bit
sense.
more.
In that case, I believe that
respectful
Christopher
of-
Lee is going to come back to life as Christopher Lee the White and be reincarnated.
I've come back to now the turn of the tide, and he will lead us into a glorious second enlightenment or a second.
episode 7
Of Dracula films.
Yeah, everyone's expecting Mace Windu to come back, but the big twist is the dead Christopher Lee's Count Dooku will return.
Okay, I think we've paid enough respect.
Yeah.
to
I love
Christopher
Christopher
Lee
Lee. He's great.
What
And
was first
he
on
seemed
the
like a lot of
agenda?
fun. There's not a lot of news tonight. If you'd listened to the last podcast, which I hope you did, and I urge you, I implore you to go back and do so.
now. Yeah, please do.
We're going to do a bit of awards ceremony. It's like interim awards to let the audience know, to let you know how we're feeling so far.
6 months into the year.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff I will say now on my list that I can't see shifting, so
I've got a ditto that.
yeah.
But then there's also big films coming out.
Of course there is, and we'll get to some of them later. Me and Alex were talking about Emma Watson's topless regression trailer that hit last night, which looks very good.
And I had to take a cold shower.
Yeah, go find your bucket.
Do you know, he played Mycroft Holmes as well. Just going back a little bit.
Have you seen the Mitchell and Webb thing where the two great actors can't decide who's going to play Holmes and Watson, so they change every time the camera
All right,
cuts?
no.
It's very funny, and I can imagine Christopher Lee getting involved in something like that. It's like they'll walk from one side of the room to the other, and then they'll have swapped costumes.
Yeah, I'll stop looking now.
Okay, so the only bits of news I've got, not a lot, 2 bits. First one, Pitch Perfect 3 is being put together.
That's not a surprise, is it?
That was going to be my question. Is anyone surprised?
No.
Is anyone really bothered?
No.
So, alright, that's done. Right. I'm not sure if we confirmed the 23 Jump Street story last week about the Men in Black thing, but
There's a new thing, anyway. wasn't
yeah,
there?
there's a new. I've got that on the list.
Oh, good.
But I'm not sure if we confirmed that they're actually working towards this Men in Black crossover. That was
we
one
might
of the
have
leaks.
covered it.
I think we did, but it's definitely happening.
Okay.
And the creators, the writers, the directors, Lord and Miller, is it?
No, I haven't seen any of them.
Chris Lord, Phil Miller, does that sound right? You've seen the Lego movie, it's the same guys.
Okay.
They've got an eccentric mind.
Right.
And what they have said is, Alex, do you remember at the end of 22 Jump Street?
I do remember the end of 22 Jump Street.
The credits are overplayed by a load of fake trailers. So
It's
at
at
the end
of
of
23 Jump Street. Medical school.
so the end
24
of
Jump
the
Street,
first one,
Cookery school.
Right.
what's his name? It's Ice Cube.
Yeah.
At the end of the first one, he goes, "You two niggers are going to college,"
Right.
and then in the second one, they go to college.
Okay.
And they thought that was it, so they did. At the end of the second one, he's like, "You two sons of bitches are going to medical school."
Okay.
And then there's like 10 seconds of them in a medical school movie,
Right.
and then it cuts back to Ice Cube. He's like, "You two, you're going to culinary school,"
Okay.
and it does that, and they go up to like
30 Jump
the
last one
35
is,
Jump Street.
I think it's 20 Jump Street and it's just in
Jump Street in
space.
space.
It just gets more and more ridiculous.
It's stupid all the way through.
You really don't care, do you?
No.
But what they've said is because
but you're not talking to me. You're talking to the audience.
I am.
And we're just using you as a vessel to pour our.
I'm an open vessel.
Steamy conversation.
You are the audience who has never watched anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're sharing our knowledge with
You're the uneducated mass.
Thanks. I feel like an educated mass.
So anyway, these fake trailers, everyone loved them,
right?
But everyone was like, "Well, how are you going to do 23 Jump Street when at the end of 22 you've already told us what 23 Jump Street is?" So they've come out and said that all those fake trailers are canon. Everything in the last 10 minutes of the second one, all those fake movies have actually happened.
So the next one won't be called 23 Jump Street?
I'm hoping that they call it like 38 Jump Street to like really confuse everyone, because that's a sort of random thing that they do.
Do you
I think it'd
that
be
would
hilarious.
upset the American market?
It might, but I think it's so funny.
It would be funny. I agree.
And I'm hoping that they drop references continually to films we haven't seen.
Okay.
I think that would be hilarious. Because in the first one, they were taking the piss out of reboots. In the second one, they were taking the piss out of unnecessary sequels.
Okay.
And it's very self-aware. They're making fun of themselves. So this one, I'm hoping they make fun of, first of all, crossover movies, because they're doing it with Men in Black, but franchise movies.
Universes.
Like Marvel Universe and the Fast and Furious ones, where they'll reference things that happened like 8 movies ago, and if you haven't seen them, you don't know what happened. But the joke here is that no one has seen them.
Ironically, I didn't think that was that important in Fast and Furious anyway.
No, it really wasn't. But I think that they're going to take the piss out of it by doing that. I'm looking forward to it.
Maybe I should watch the others then.
They're good. Yeah, we'll watch them before the next one comes out. That's what we seem to do. We still need to watch Ted.
We do need to watch Ted.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that.
You haven't seen Ted?
No.
Wow. I don't know what. Why am I still surprised?
The other 21 Jump Street news I've got is in a twist of fate, and it seems to be the popular thing now, is they're doing an all-female version.
I heard they're doing an all-male version of fried green tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe.
Is that a Dr. Seuss?
No.
That's green eggs and ham.
Alright.
I do not like them, so I am.
What other all-female films could they do?
Well, it's Ghostbusters is what's kicked it all off.
I'm just
Yeah.
wondering how
Ghostbusters
they did the other
news,
way around.
actually.
Yeah, no, we'll let Paul... It was a good segue, but we'll let Paul carry
That's
on.
fine, go on, carry on.
So there's a segue. I'm assuming you're talking about Mr. Hemsworth.
I am talking about Mr. Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth
The most
has
beautiful man in the
joined
world.
the all-female Ghostbusters cast. So we've got Melissa McCarthy, who has impressed us in Spy.
Which we'll talk about later.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Kristen Wiig, who impresses us in everything she does.
Even that Sia video.
Even that, especially that scene.
That was awesome, wasn't it? Yeah.
If we still had a link dump, that shit would be number one.
Yeah.
And then 2 other women that we don't know. So Chris Hemsworth is now playing their receptionist.
Okay.
And I'm willing to bet there's going to be some sort of like angsty sort of heat between him and they're all in love with him or something.
Yeah.
Because he is pretty dishy.
He's alright.
And then some.
So, do you think he's a good replacement for Janine Melnitz?
I liked Janine.
Did you like her more in the first one or the second one?
The second one.
Is that because she had red hair?
I'm not saying.
Which confirms that point.
I liked her in the first one when she's trying to like flirt with Egon, and she's like, I read a lot. I bet you read a lot. And Egon's like, yeah, print is dead. And she's like, yeah, I know you just not listening to a word you're saying. But I really hope Chris Hemsworth yells, "We got one." That is the only thing from the first film I want to see referenced.
Yeah,
it's got to be done. It just has to.
It is an iconic line.
Yeah, it's the line of it kicks everything off. It's because ready with that sort of bluesy jazz music, and then they're driving to the hotel.
Yeah,
and then they've seen like the bits where they're capturing Slimer. That's the best 25 minutes of the film.
And it starts with that phone call.
That's when it all starts. What a journey!
It's great.
So that's all the news.
Actually, I've got a little bit that's just popped up here.
Well, should we also mention that the lads who played Fagin in the original Oliver films died as well?
Yes.
John Woody, was it? Or
Ron Moody.
Ron Moody.
That's
close.
John Ron.
And the mum from Goonies.
And the mum from Goonies.
Whose name I forgot, but I did read it earlier.
Does she get tied up or something? No, they tie up the maid, don't they? Oh, I remember the mum from Goonies because she's got a bad leg. That's why the maid's carrying all the shopping. I need to watch Goonies again. I love it. Anyway, your other bit of news.
Just popped up. Matthew Vaughn confirms plans for Kingsman 2.
Interesting.
Writing it at the moment.
Now, we said that we didn't know where the story would go.
No.
But ever since... Actually, I was thinking about this in the last week, is that I really want a sequel. I don't care how bad it is.
Yeah.
I just like... It's just fun and stupid, so I don't mind that it's... And it's Matthew Vaughn, I trust him, and is this the first sequel he's done?
Quite possibly.
I thought that's why we didn't think there was going to be one.
Yeah.
Because he's not really done.
Yeah, that probably is why we thought that. But I don't think he's done a sequel. So it'll be interesting. Maybe they'll incorporate more elements from the original comic book, because it was quite different from the source material.
I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest.
Well, it's just, do you know what made me think about it? We'll get onto the movie awards in a second, but it was when we had Best Newcomer, and I noticed that, Alex, you've got Taron Egerton top of your list still.
I do.
And I was just thinking, you know what, he's brilliant. I would watch another film with him in the Kingsman suit.
We haven't actually, in our awards, and I'm branching off a bit, we haven't actually got set up rules, have we?
No rules. That's what, it's a debate forum.
I was just going to say, a newcomer, they can't have been in more than so many films.
Yeah, well, if you put someone on the list that me and Paul don't think's a newcomer, we can tell you that you're full of shit.
Everyone's a newcomer to Paul, though.
I was just about to say that very thing, actually. That Christopher Lee guy.
He's up and coming.
Can't wait to see him in more.
Yeah, I was going to put Lake Bell. Yeah, I was going to put her on Best Newcomer, but I looked on the list and she's been around for ages.
Yeah. Really?
There was someone else.
I still can't get over the fact she's not English.
No, I'll tell you who. The person who was going to go top of my newcomer list was the girl from Tomorrowland.
Okay.
Because I really liked her.
The little girl? Or
the little girl.
The little girl.
She's been in shitloads.
Has she?
Yeah.
Really?
She's actually on my list.
Yeah. I think she has. Unless I'm mixing them up, because I think I might have been trying to put them both on.
Oh,
the older ones have been in shitloads.
The older one's definitely been in shitloads.
Okay,
Maybe the younger one hasn't. Maybe the younger one is on my list.
I'll look. I'll do my usual looking up stuff.
Let's just do a bit of discussion.
Okay.
Right. So
while you're doing that, I'll look up Tomorrowland.
Okay.
So I saw on Reddit the other day, Alex, on our movies. Top post on our movies was someone was complaining that a good guy in a movie who turns into a villain in the third act is cheap because it's a twist because you've got nowhere to go with the story and the villain has no time to develop as a villain. Now, the only examples that they really gave to prove this point were Now You See Me. Have you seen that?
Yes, that's the magic one.
Yeah. Now, in that film, none of it makes sense.
Yeah.
Therefore, the ending doubly doesn't make sense, so I don't see it as a problem because it didn't matter. Dark Knight Rises I agree with because there's not really, for Talia anyway, there's not much laid in.
It didn't need to be a twist though.
No.
We already had Bane as a villain.
Yeah.
And that's what it should have been.
I agree.
Batman vs Bane all the way through. Didn't need twists and secretly double agents and
Yeah. So that's the only one I agreed with.
No,
but there
when you said Dark Knight Rises,
yeah.
I couldn't even think who you were talking about.
All right.
He was pretending to be a
Talia.
goodie all along.
Talia.
Yeah.
I just couldn't work it out. I was
You can
like,
now.
well, yeah, but for some reason I thought you were on about Two-Face, but that was Dark
right.
Knight, wasn't it?
Yeah. But you see, someone mentioned Dark Knight following that comment but that made sense within the story because
It explained why he became a villain. Yeah.
But there were so many people coming up with examples that disproved this point, and those are the only two that came close to actually proving the point.
Yeah.
Because the other thing someone mentioned was GoldenEye, and it's like, well, Sean Bean's revealed as a villain like halfway through the film at the latest.
As I thought right at the start.
He dies at the start as a goodie,
comes back later.
and then as soon as he comes back, he's a villain.
Yeah.
And it's just like, sure, a lot of his villainness is explained off screen by the fact he's a Chechen orphan or something. But it made sense. Like, I didn't see it as I don't think it's cheap, certainly.
What about Saruman? He was a good guy.
Yeah.
Literally, like the first, say, half an hour of the first film.
Yeah. He's a villain for 6 hours out of 7.
Not including the extended version.
He's a bit edgy in The Hobbit, though. But that's because you know where he's gonna.
Yeah, I suppose.
But I don't think that's fair. I think when it's done badly,
when it's a good twist,
yeah,
it's fine. But then it's supposed to be a twist, isn't it?
Yeah. So to me, it's like if it makes sense, if it's good, then it's good. If it doesn't make sense and it's bad, then it's bad. That's the same as anything.
I don't
in a
think
movie.
it's a lazy plot device.
No,
Yeah,
if
it's not. A
it
fact
can
of
be certainly, but anything can be.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure I agreed with that. I wish I'd taken that guy's username down, and to be honest, I wish I'd made more notes about examples because it sounds a bit sparse now. But it happened in a film more recently, Kingsman, I think, when Michael Caine's revealed to be certainly in league with Samuel L. Jackson.
It's a twist. It's been going on for however many years since cinema began. Probably.
Yeah, I don't mind it. What do you think?
I disagree with the post.
Right.
I like a good twist.
I don't think it's a lazy plot device if it's done well.
Okay. So we've covered that for any of you Reddit listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah, you Reddit listeners.
Just going back quickly,
Yes.
Her first major feature film,
The little one or the big one?
the little one,
Yes.
was Snow White and the Huntsman in 2012,
Yeah.
where she played the young Snow White. Then she played young Angelique in Dark Shadows, which is the character that Eva Green plays.
See, I'm just thinking,
She was in a TV series. Her earliest appearance, according to this, was Spanish Flu: The Forgotten Fallen in 2009.
Make a note of that, because we are going to watch it and review it for this podcast, and that sounds fucking great. But yeah, so I'm going to bite my own tongue here, because she's probably going to be on my list, but to me, that's two big movies from 3 years ago at the earliest. So yeah, I don't think she's
not
cast as a
established,
newcomer.
but
She's not established, but she was in movies to the point of...
It's not a break.
Sorry about that.
Right then, the other bit of discussion I had, Paul, this is actually something you mentioned.
Oh, really?
Yeah, trailer saturation.
Oh, God.
I think it's something we all mentioned.
No, I was so glad when we went to see Man Up and Spy that there wasn't a fucking Jurassic World trailer.
Me and David got one on Monday with Entourage.
Really?
Yeah.
God.
So we all watched the first trailer, and I think we all kept an open mind about it.
Yeah.
Then we saw the second trailer, and we thought, yeah, that's a really good trailer. I'm quite excited to see this now. And then we saw it every day for 6 weeks.
Every single film we went to see had
Yeah.
a Jurassic World trailer. And it's got to the point where you're all going to see it tomorrow, and I don't care. I really don't care.
I'm not that fussed.
I'm not.
My excitement has marginally built again, but that's because of the lack of the trailers I've seen. Because I've only seen one trailer in 2 weeks now.
Okay.
Whereas I've been seeing it like 3 times a week before that.
Yeah.
Have you seen the picture of the premiere?
No.
There's a picture of the premiere, and it's just ridiculous, the amount I've put into it. They've gone so over the top. It's just giant, massive gates to Jurassic World. So the park is open. These we're talking about 6-7 stories high, these gates. They're huge.
Yeah.
It's just, you don't need to market it that much. It's Jurassic World. The name carries a hell of a lot.
Yeah, I was just...
It's just too much.
I think it's... Everyone who was going to go and see Jurassic World is going to go see Jurassic World. I don't think you're going to convince anyone who wasn't going to go see it to see it with whatever you do.
Yeah.
But regarding the trailer saturation, who's that putting off? Us.
Yeah.
And we're all still going to see it. Because we go and see everything. So someone who doesn't go and see everything won't have had the trailer saturation, won't have been put off.
No.
So I think it's a very specific problem when I start to think about this,
Yeah.
but it's a very present problem.
Do you know what also annoys me though?
Yeah.
When you went to see Entourage on Monday,
Yes.
did it have an advert
Yeah,
for
it did.
unlimited cards? Why the fuck did they do that?
So yeah,
I went to an unlimited screening, so you clearly have an unlimited card, and they say, "Do you know what you should do? Buy an unlimited card." I already fucking do. That's why I'm here.
Sure, it's better than watching your next film in IMAX.
Oh, was it Spy or Man Up? And that was a really uncomfortable length of time. That
Oh, it
thing
was one
up
of them,
there.
yeah.
I'm sure it's the same because we did it. It was back to back, wasn't it? So I'm sure we'd seen it in the first film for ages.
I'm sure it was
People
during
probably
Man
got no
Up
idea
because
what
it
we're
was
talking
just
about.
like.
Yeah. And then we went into the second film and it's there again. It just felt like
So,
it was for ages.
I was about to say, I'm going to send Cineworld an email about why do they advertise unlimited cards during unlimited screening, but now I'm going to ask them about that guy's face. If you've been to a Cineworld cinema, you know what we're talking about. It's the guy's face advertising the IMAX camera.
With the most
but the thing
gorgeous
is,
look.
the Cineworld unlimited advert, which is a different one to the one that plays first, because you get one at the start, one at the end now. The one at the end starts with his face on a video this time.
Yeah.
And she's like, how much did they pay this guy?
Nothing, it's just one shot.
So yeah, I'll send them an email. That'll be a comic reply, that one. Right, so for the first time since our second podcast, I'm opening up my movie ratings.
Wow.
How
are yours looking?
I meant to get a...
Mine looks awesome.
I tell you what, before we move in, while we all get this open, we have Hoggy's Hottie and Hoggy's Hunk of the Month to announce.
Oh, have we?
Yes. It's exciting, isn't it?
I'm so glad
It's
that
for
he
me.
discusses these
This
things
is
with us.
for me. We did discuss this one. I took it on a massive vote this time. Because you voted for Zoe Kravitz.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She didn't win. Because me and Alex voted for Alexandra Daddario from San Andreas.
What?
And the bouncing boobs.
And the
That
bouncing
was
boobs.
atrocious.
We're not talking about the film, we're talking
To be
about the
honest,
boobs.
what happened was someone said, "How can we make it so that her boobs bounce about all the
Let's
time?
have a film
Let's
about
have
an
a film
earthquake."
about an earthquake."
Yeah,
that's pretty much what happened.
I think that happened as well.
And none of us are complaining.
I am. I wanted Zoe Kravitz to win.
You're complaining now. You weren't complaining then.
Yes.
You need to think about this. You need to plant the seed of Zoe Kravitz beforehand.
No.
And plus, if it had been a Mad Max girl winning, I'd had to give it to Rosie Huntington-Whiteley because she was first of all beautiful, and second of all, I was surprised that she could act. So, because the last time I saw her was Transformers 3, and then
No one could act.
and she could not act in that. And then she was actually, I thought she was pretty good in this. She's the one that got murdered under the wheel, the Prego one.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked it.
She's actually a model. Rather than an actor.
Yeah, she's Victoria's Secret model. She's been in 2 films. Transformers 3 and Mad Max.
We need an attractive lady in this film. Let's pick a Victoria's Secret model. It doesn't matter if she can act.
Speaking of, we were talking about Jake Gyllenhaal the other day.
Who?
Some people in the park. You might have been there, you might not have been.
No, you've been off.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah,
been.
you've been off. Because we're saying he is shredded now. He is ripped to pieces
Okay.
for his new role as boxer. It's in
Right.
a movie called Southpaw.
Okay.
And let me find a picture of her.
He's basically becoming his character actor.
Right.
Because in Nightcrawler, he lost a lot of weight for that. To
Okay.
be the creepy, skinny sort of guy.
So like Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Leto.
But now he's gone completely the other way. Gone to this sort of middleweight boxer, and he's just ripped.
Right.
Apparently his girlfriend, is it his girlfriend or his wife?
It's his girlfriend left him because he was getting
Too into his role.
too in his role. He was getting hyper competitive, hyper aggressive, and spending all his time in the gym and none with her.
Okay.
So let me show you a picture of Jake Gyllenhaal before and after.
I know what Jake Gyllenhaal looks like.
Not in Southpaw, you don't.
Not in Southpaw, you know.
No, that's why I don't like. That's why I can see the after. I don't need to see it before. I know what he looks like.
All right, well, I've got one of them. I've got one of them after then. The one on the right is the after image.
If you needed sort of any.
So he went from Nightcrawler, where he was skinny and pale, to that.
Right.
And let me now pull up a picture of his girlfriend.
Who he's ditched.
Who? No, she ditched him.
So she ditched him. Well, he didn't fight for her back.
No,
did
not
he?
at all. He assumed,
What
like, by all accounts, she said she was leaving him if he didn't change. Like, yeah, all right.
And carried on what he was doing.
And she actually rocked up in Entourage movie,
Okay.
which is ironic because in Entourage Series 3 they make fun of Jake Gyllenhaal for being this like shit comic book actor
Right.
who can't do anything, and now he's the method actor that's lost the girlfriend that the main character in the film gets with.
Right. That's meta, isn't it?
It's very
Yeah.
meta. It's like completely flipped. But she's called Alyssa Miller. She's also a model.
Oh.
You can get an idea.
That's all you need to know.
Right.
Now you know you might think there's more attractive women, but if she's there lying down like that, telling you not to go to the gym,
You don't.
what are you going to do?
I don't go to the gym anyway.
Oh yeah, well you've already halfway there. Yeah. Right, my phone has crashed, so I don't have my movie list anymore. So Alex, take us off. What are we starting with?
Are we doing awards first?
Yeah, we'll do the awards.
That's the next section.
We're done. It's just awards and some reviews next.
Yeah.
Okay. So, should we go top 5 films of the year?
Top 5 films of the year.
And
Yeah, I can do that.
Bottom 5 worst.
Bottom 5 worst is interesting. Let's do that. So,
Should we start with the worst?
okay, you do
So,
yours. Do
My
your worst.
bottom 5, I need to count.
Are you going to go from 5th to worst, or
5th, getting gradually worse
Yeah.
to the worst film of the year.
and then you're going to do 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd,
Yes.
1st best of the year?
Yes.
And I'm just going to agree or disagree. That's going to be my
So,
thing.
Yeah.
some of these you probably won't have seen as well. And some of them
That's-
you've seen that I haven't. But
Okay.
in 5th place, Unfinished Business.
Right. Yeah.
Didn't see it.
I can understand that. It wasn't great.
4th place, 2x2.
Right. I didn't actually go and
I
see
didn't
that.
see
Oh, you didn't? I thought you went to see that.
No, we had a behaviour issue,
Oh,
so we
a tantrum, was it?
we removed her 2x2 rights.
That's more of a reward, I think, than a punishment. But
Should have
still,
thought that through.
yes. 3rd place, Taken Free.
Right? Yeah.
I didn't see that.
That's the only. Yeah, we didn't see that.
You don't see that?
No.
It was just dreadful. 2nd place, 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
Actually, I nearly laughed when I looked at your list because you actually gave that like 1 for rewatchability. so you
Tits.
Yeah, I'd watch that again.
Tits.
Yeah.
No, I see his point. Tits.
Okay.
Yeah. She's actually quite a good actress in it. We'll get onto that later, but
No, we won't.
I will.
Oh, you're not on your top 5 actress list.
No.
Spoilers?
No. I think it loads of this anyway. Anyway, number one. Can we guess what it is?
Is it
Into the Woods?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Let me find mine. I finally rejigged my phone. So, I'll
So
tell
you're doing worst here.
Yeah, we're doing the worst one.
Okay.
Ooh, everyone! I've just had a reply from the Crystal Maze.
All right, well done.
They're asking me who's going to be in my team for the new show.
Pick me.
No, I'll sort it out later. Right, so you had. Let's have a look. I don't think I've seen a lot of the films you've put in there.
That's probably why I'm at the bottom.
Yeah, my unfinished business came 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mine was the unfinished business is the 9th worst film of the year. So my bottom 5 are Age of Adeline, The Wedding Ringer, Monsters Dark Continent, Mordecai,
And Into the Woods.
and Into the Woods. Now, I need to comment on this because I think your Into the Woods score is really high.
Mine.
What did you give it overall?
Some of the singing was good.
Right. What did you give it overall?
80.
Gave it about 4.
Out of 100.
Yeah.
You didn't do it out of 100.
I know. So I gave it 0
That's
out
like
of 6.
20%.
I couldn't give it 0 for enjoyment because I managed to stay till the end. Even though I wanted to leave, I didn't leave.
Yeah, but it's
That
because...
doesn't mean you enjoyed it.
I didn't do it. It's got 6 out of 40.
But you
Six out of
see,
50,
the
sorry,
reason
6
we
out of
didn't
50.
leave is because it's the same as It Follows. It's like there was always the thought that something might be good or
Yeah,
something might
exactly.
happen. But it didn't. That's
Yeah.
the reason we didn't leave.
I stayed to the end because I was hoping like something would just impale James Corden in the face.
But yeah,
If I'd known it was going to be as bad as it was, I would have left.
Yeah.
The only reason I stayed is because I thought it might get better.
I mean, I gave it a 12 for quality because
Right.
it's still the lowest score on my list. But some of the singing was good. Some of the sets were nice.
None of the sets were nice.
Yes, they were.
It looked like a TV show the entire
It
time.
did. I'm not saying it
I
was good.
liked
It's got
the-
12. It's bottom of the
I
list.
liked the inside of the bakery.
The inside of the bakery is the best set.
Yeah,
that is easily
that was
the
a
best.
good set.
Or maybe the external shots of the village were quite
Yeah,
good.
they were nice.
I was trying to. The woods were horrible.
The woods were horrible.
I was trying to be.
A lot of the
unbiased.
films in the woods.
Yes, that's why it's got 12
I gave it 5.
and 0 for rewatchability.
I give it
I
5
never want to
overall,
see it
just to
again.
clarify.
Yeah,
Mine's got a 2 for enjoyment out of 50, a 3 for quality out of 40, and a big fat 0 for rewatchability. The only other film with 0 rewatchability this year was Age of Adeline.
I haven't got any. That's the only 0.
Now, obviously, I haven't seen everything that you two have seen.
Yeah.
I do agree with Into the Woods.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other film that I've come out of and gone, eh. Monsters, I was disappointed with
Yes.
That's a topic for later on.
more than anything.
Why?
Disappointment of the year.
Oh, it's Disappointment of the Year, yeah.
Okay. Oh,
I
yeah.
I forgot about that. I haven't prepped those.
So
ones.
since you haven't got a list,
Into the Woods was my worst film of the year.
without saying, second to that,
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
But
I
did you
haven't
see
actually
Wedding
enjoyed.
Ringer?
I did say it's
So
actually.
you've got Wedding Ringer higher than
Oh,
Unfinished Business.
what was that shit horror film that we saw?
It Follows.
It follows.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
There you go. That's my second worst film of the year.
That
Wedding Ringer was
that was
actually
my
quite
6th
high up.
worst.
I thought Wedding Ringer was alright. It was a good laugh.
I thought Unfinished Business was much funnier.
So, given the list of films that you've got that I've seen, Into the Woods and It Follows, because I haven't seen any of the others that are in your top.
Then
6.
we agree. Then yeah.
Okay, that's
From me-
fine. Yeah, there you go.
You haven't seen any of mine.
And then
Into the Woods.
above that, I've got A Most Violent Year, Jupiter Ascending, Unfinished Business, then Fast and Furious 10 around bottom top
Interesting.
10.
Above mine, I have Pitch Perfect 2.
Really?
Yes, I do.
That is controversial.
Since I hadn't actually seen it when you reviewed it last episode.
Yeah.
Considering I've got.
Did
that
you not
in
like
best,
it?
I've got that
Really-
in best soundtrack.
I really didn't like it.
Really?
Especially, I went back and watched the first one because
Yeah.
I watched the second one first. I
Right.
thought, okay, this is a bit cringy, but then it's just a pop one, you know. So
Yeah.
when you watch the first one, I actually kind of enjoyed the first one. I thought it was good, and I thought they'd just gone on to the second one and really forced it into your face.
Some of my friends have said that it's nowhere near the first one.
It's so. It
I
felt
think
so
fans of the
forced.
first one agree with what you're saying, so you're more in tune with them. The reason I prefer the second one is just because I thought it was funnier.
I didn't find it funny.
Yeah,
I found it like they were trying really hard to make it funny, but they were just falling so flat.
Maybe it was one of the things that we had a really good audience or something,
Yeah,
because
maybe.
that does make a difference.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, let's have a look
That's
at my
right,
list.
right at the bottom.
It's my 14th best of the year,
14th best.
with an overall score of 84.
Blimey.
I liked it.
47 here.
Jesus, so that's a big
That's
disagreement.
A huge difference.
Yeah. So we were saying actually, because I sent my list to Simon.
I didn't
yesterday.
compare every line.
I know I
should
didn't,
have.
but we were having a quick browse and said, you know, a lot of it is quite similar,
Yeah.
but there's a lot that's quite controversial, opposite, different, whatever. So
Do you want to do your top 5 then, Alex?
top 5. Okay. 5th place,
Yeah.
John Wick.
Yeah.
Good choice.
4th place, American Sniper.
Right.
That was good. I enjoyed that.
3rd place, Birdman.
I loved that.
2nd place, Mad Max.
Which was okay, yeah.
And 1st place, Whiplash.
Oh,
Right.
Cheeky.
My top 5. Chappie.
I would have
Is
Chappie
this
in there.
5th, yeah?
5th. Chappie's 5th, 91. John Wick 4th, 91. Birdman 3rd, 92. Cinderella 2nd, 92. And Whiplash is the best film of the year on a solid 93. And my Mad Max, it's got a really good score when I look at it individually. So I gave it a 44 for enjoyment, but I think that might be selling it short. A 34 for quality and a 9 for rewatchability. But that comes out at 87, which makes it the 10th best of the year.
Okay.
But I'm looking at the films above it. You know, I feel it deserves to be higher, but then I look at the enjoyment levels and maybe it doesn't. So, tricky one. But our top 5 are similar.
It's 2 behind Whiplash for me.
2 behind.
I've got exact same for quality, exact same for rewatchability, and Whiplash edges it. I've got 2 more for
Where's Cinderella on your list, Alex?
Cinderella is 12,
Okay.
actually,
My 12th is Ex Machina.
which I'm still yet to see.
Oh, you still yet to see it?
Yes, I've got it downloaded.
It's out now.
I've got it downloaded,
Okay.
but I just need to get around to watching
Well,
it.
legally.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Just checking.
Let's see if there's anything else big. Right, let's see, Alex. Big Hero. Everyone made a big fuss about when it came out. Where's that appeared on your list?
15th,
15th.
with a score of 74.
See, I've seen. Well, that's very interesting because mine is 24th with a score of 76.
You're much more generous.
I
than
am more
me.
generous, aren't I?
The thing is, your lowest one. What is the jump between Into the Woods and the next one?
I've got Into the Woods overall on 5, and then Mordecai overall on 40.
40.
I think mine's a bit more spread
out.
I've got Into the Woods on 18, then 50 Shades of Grey on 27, then Taken Free on 32.
I have been more spread out in previous years. Like last year, I go from 21 to 17 to 15 to 14 to 5. It's more spread out. This year has just been. I feel that the quality this year. I've enjoyed a lot this year.
I've got 3 in the 90s. My top 3 are in the 90s.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My top 5 are in the 90s, plus American Sniper, which was in your top 5, is my 6th best film. That rounds out the 90s at 6. Right.
So, Paul, your best film of the year?
I could do at least 3.
Yeah.
Whiplash, Birdman, Chappie.
Mad Max.
It was good. I don't think it
Not
was.
great.
John Wick was really good. I'd put John Wick. I said John Wick's there, so that's 4.
American Sniper.
I don't think that had the rewatchability, to be honest.
Wild.
I did love Wild. actually.
Yeah.
Spy.
Spy.
Kingsman.
Kingsman's in my top 10.
It's in my top 10. Should we do the end of your top 10? Just to finish it off.
Alright, so.
Because this is the main one, isn't it? The
You know
best
we're not
film
going to
of
be
the
able to
year.
drag every category out this long.
No,
we
but
won't.
this is the
That's
main.
not one.
This is the main.
So I've
one,
got
yeah.
6
This
is
is the
American
biggie.
Sniper, 7 Wild, 8 Avengers Age of Ultron, 9 Kingsman, and 10 Mad Max Fury Road.
Do you know what I am finding? And just you mentioning Age of Ultron there, I'm wondering if it's the saturation of trailers and things that is actually spoiling the films for
I don't
me.
know, because
I didn't feel that trailer spoiled Marvel though. Avengers.
it
'Cause
didn't. I thought the
all
film
of the-
spoiled itself.
The film did spoil itself. All of the stuff in the trailer was taken either out of context or mainly from the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, I suppose.
It was quite overhyped as well.
It was overhyped, but I don't think that was necessarily all Marvel's doing.
I think a lot of that is the problem. That might be the problem with Jurassic World as well. I find it hard to go in, and I feel like I'll come out being disappointed.
No, I agree.
Because it's just everywhere. It's in your face.
I
It's
agree
really
with
amazing.
that point. But when it comes to the difference between Avengers Age of Ultron and Jurassic World, I think in Jurassic World the studio has rammed it down our throats, whereas in Avengers Age of Ultron, partially the studio, partially us nerd fans constantly obsessing over every snippet of information, talking about it all the time.
Maybe.
I think we're our own victims sometimes.
Should we
'Cause
move that
talk
onto
about it a lot.
should we move that onto a related point, and we'll have
Biggest disappointment.
biggest disappointment and surprise of the year. So
Um,
I'm sure this is something
You
that's
can't do that now.
why not?
No, because
why?
we're doing all the bests.
No, this makes sense. This makes sense.
Okay, go on then.
Just like this is one sort of surprise of the year, something that's not been hyped, and you've gone in and been blown away, thinking, "Oh, it's much better than I thought." And disappointment.
Chappie was probably the biggest surprise of the year, or if you're going on that level of criteria, because we went into it and everyone said it was average at best.
It had some shit reviews.
Yeah. So I came out thinking that was awesome. But my actual answer would have been Ex Machina, because
I was going to say Ex Machina.
there was nothing about it.
Mm.
Slight word of mouth.
I think we saw one trailer.
Yeah.
One trailer, maybe two, and then Hannah's friend said it was film of the year. That's all I heard about it. And I went in knowing not a lot, and then I was blown away.
Yeah.
But you can't say that.
I haven't seen that, but the film I will say, Woman in Gold.
That,
That's
yeah,
my
I can see
surprise.
that.
Choice, actually.
Surprise of the year.
Oh, then Ryan Reynolds, The Voices. Could that be surprise of the year?
Oh, that was amazing. I loved that film.
That was probably the most surprising film. Not just because it was good, but because it was surprising.
I hadn't even seen anything about that when we went.
I mean, I was just thinking about Woman in Gold. I was just looking to go to the cinema. What's on? That's on. Whatever. I've got some time to burn. Let's go see it.
I'm sure I mentioned this in the
Really
podcast
impressed
though,
with it.
but we saw one trailer for it, and I said that looks amazing, and y'all,
Yes,
I
we have
don't,
said
I don't
that.
remember this.
I said that would
He
be
said
great.
this about 3 times,
Yeah.
now, but I think he's talking bullshit.
Yeah.
to be honest.
Biggest
State your source.
disappointment. There's been a couple of disappointments this year. There's been not a lot of terrible things.
Monsters Dark Continent has been my biggest disappointment.
And because Monsters for you was
A really good film.
my biggest disappointment. I've got a couple that are on the same level. You see,
Yeah.
So I've got Tomorrowland's probably my biggest disappointment, because if you listen to the first podcast, I hyped Tomorrowland
really
to
excited,
no end,
Yeah.
and it was okay. It was a film. I can imagine it being, when your kids are like 10 and they're bored and you're thinking
It's
on
kind
a
of
Saturday
like
afternoon.
it's the Zathura, or
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Jumanji of this era.
It's just a
Yeah.
kid's adventure movie, but
Someone who's taken into a world that's alien to them.
Interstellar for kids.
it's no way.
No.
That's far too generous.
Is it? Okay. But yeah. My disappointment, I've got a couple. Avengers,
Yeah,
maybe?
I was going to go
The
and
amount-
say Avengers.
The amount of hype, I just didn't think it lived up to it. I think I might go with Child 44.
Child 44.
Oh, okay.
I thought I was hoping for a lot more. I heard a lot of good things about it, and I just found it really sort of depressing and boring.
I'm going to say Tomorrowland's my number one. I agree with you on Avengers. I think it was a disappointment, but I still enjoyed Avengers so much that
Yeah.
it didn't really matter that the quality had taken a bit of a dip to me. I'll acknowledge that it has, but it didn't really affect me. I'm going to say It Follows was a disappointment,
Yeah, that's true.
because the trailer was good. It was a waste of a premise.
Mhm.
I'm going to say Insurgent was a disappointment, because I love Divergent, and Insurgent was so pointless. But you know what? Hot Tub Time Machine 2.
Ah, okay.
Very funny, but everything I liked about the original Hot Tub Time Machine was great story, great characters. It was a really tight film, and this second one was all over the place.
Gags, wasn't
It was all gags. It was a good way to spend an hour and a half, but nowhere near as good as the first one. So there's my disappointments.
Okay.
Right.
I did say that surprises and disappointments could be like news stories and stuff as well. So I'm disappointed that The Dark Tower still hasn't come out yet on movie format. Right, actor.
Should we power through
Should
these?
we just
then?
move left to right?
Left to
Well,
right.
on my list, it's
Well,
the
it's
list.
Mine's
just,
got
it's,
vertical.
surely if it's just best actor, it's one name.
We've got a top 5 for everything though.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we'll just power through it.
Yeah, fine.
We'll just say the top one for each one,
Top one.
and then if there's a discrepancy, we can argue about it.
Okay. Top one for me, Eddie Redmayne, Theory of Everything.
J.K. Simmons, Whiplash.
J.K. Simmons, Whiplash.
He's second on mine.
Second on mine isn't even Eddie Redmayne. Eddie Redmayne's third. I've got David Oyelowo as number 2 on mine.
okay.
Selma.
Thank you, because I forgot who it was.
See on my list. I will put it next
No,
to
I've got if I was on a computer,
Oh, you better see
it
it.
flashes up on it as a comment,
Ah, I see.
but I
Mr.
can't
Mr.
see it on my
Technical.
phone. Yeah, it's a technical limitation.
Okay.
I just think J.K. Simmons' performance was so intense and
It
so
was,
original. And Eddie Redmayne's was good, but I don't know, it was almost too good. It's like, why didn't they just get Stephen Hawking in at the end to do it? It was just I felt at times it became more of an impersonation than an acting
That was
performance.
kind of the point.
I know
of
it is, 'cause it's a biopic.
And to hit it that perfectly,
It's
But
not
is
hard.
it harder to act as
kind of is.
is it harder to act as a fictional character than a real person who you can study entirely?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Yes, because you've got to compare to.
Yeah.
But no, because you can't really make it your own.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
But I feel the way...
It's the exact same thing. I was hoping you were going to go one way or the other, and then I was going to be, but you actually covered both points very well. I see why Eddie Redmayne's there. I've got Bradley Cooper and Michael Keaton on mine.
Bradley Cooper in
American Sniper.
You missed out just. I've got Eddie Redmayne, J.K. Simmons, Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton was great.
He was awesome.
David and Steve Carell for Foxcatcher.
Foxcatcher, something that neither of us have seen. The other two on mine that dropped out of the top 5 were Ed Norton for Birdman and Oscar Isaac for A Most Violent Year, which was such a pointless film, but he was good.
Okay.
This way we're going to agree?
Let's find
All
out.
3 of us. Paul, you go first. Best Actress of the Year.
Reese Witherspoon in Wild.
Reese Witherspoon in Wild.
Julianne Moore.
That's weird. Julianne Moore's not even second on my list. She's third on mine.
I'm getting deja vu here.
Yeah. She's third. Julianne Moore's third on my list. I've got Alicia Vikander.
Who?
She played the robot in Ex Machina.
Okay.
I
Oh yeah,
thought
she was really
brilliant.
good. Actually. Yeah, all the little
Yeah.
just movement. Oh, you still haven't seen it.
We can't even talk about the
Don't
ending.
you, man?
God damn.
I can't believe you haven't seen it.
Oh my god. I've got Reese Witherspoon second.
Okay.
Helen Mirren third for Woman in Gold.
She was really good in that.
Charlize Theron fourth. And Dakota Johnson, 50 Shades of Grey.
Interesting. Controversial, but interesting. I have forgotten or didn't think that Helen Mirren deserved credit here. Because what I do is, at the start of the year, I'll put every actress on the list.
Right.
But if we get to like now and she doesn't break into the top 5, I don't bother putting her in the people that dropped out. So it's not really fair to say on the people that dropped out because there'll be plenty of people that shouldn't be in that part. But rounding out my top 5, you got Julia Moore in third. Then Sarah Gadon in fourth place. She played Princess Elizabeth in A Royal Night Out.
Okay.
She was very good. And then I've put Lake Bell in top 5. The fact that she's American.
She's American. Yeah.
Which I believe, Paul, I was going to vote for her for Hottie of the Month next month.
Okay.
But she lied to us.
Why?
Because she's American.
Oh.
I liked her when she was British.
Okay.
So she
can't vote for her.
I'm not voting for her. You can vote for her. But I think she lied.
She's a liar.
But me and Alex will probably be in cahoots again to undercut you. Oh, we didn't say Hunk of the Month.
Oh.
I asked every girl in the lab who Hunk of the Month could be, and every one of them says, I don't know what film has been out, or Tom Hardy. So we went with Tom Hardy.
Okay. In Child 44.
So that's actress.
Don't want to talk about any more, is it?
Nah, I don't want to talk about any more.
Newcomers.
No, we've got director.
Directors first.
I'm just winging it.
No, I'm not.
No, don't. You're not in charge, Alex.
Sorry, I'm crap at being in charge. I just thought we'll move actors and then we'll move on to more technical filmmaking.
That's a good point.
No, I'm crap at this. Let's do it your way.
No, I agree with Alex.
Fuck's sake. Newcomer.
Best newcomer.
I think we all.
I'm going to go for.
We don't all agree on this at all.
I'm going to go for the girl from Ex Machina.
The girl from Ex Machina, who is fourth on my list.
Okay.
Taron Egerton, Kingsman.
Second on my list.
Okay.
I've got Sarah Gadon on my list from A Royal Night Out.
Okay.
She was a delight.
Have you not got Lily James?
I've got Lily James third on my list. I can't remember what she was in.
Cinderella.
Oh yeah, she was amazing.
I thought you're number one, if anything.
See, I can't see what films they've been in. It makes it really hard because I've got Belle Powley as my fifth best newcomer of the year. I have no idea who the fuck that even is.
I've got Dakota Johnson second.
Yeah,
I'm beginning to worry about you. Your obsession with this film.
What? It's wank.
Ah.
But she's very, very good in it.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you're the only person that said that.
What?
You're the only person that said that. Everyone else credits him.
Empire magazine said that she's very good.
All right.
Yeah, actually, the review was watch it for Dakota Johnson.
I've heard that she's a twat.
What, in real life?
Yeah.
Probably is, but
Yeah.
I'm not basing it on that. I've got Rafi.
What was the name of that person?
Belle Powley.
I've got Rafi Cassidy from Tomorrowland, which I think needs to be removed because she's not actually a newcomer.
I agree, Alex. She's not a newcomer. And Paul, you spell Belle Powley B-E-L.
Right.
P-O-W-L-E-Y.
Oh yeah.
So let's find out who she is.
She is an actress.
She is an actress. Anyone else that you want to mention this year? I've
got Micah Monroe from It Follows as well.
Alright, yeah, I can see that. Maybe the only reason she's not in mine is because she would have dropped out, but I've got Yolandi in mine, best newcomer, Paul.
Okay, yeah. She was Princess Margaret in A Royal Night.
Oh, right. She was really funny.
Princesses
I've got both princesses in. Right, here's my list of people that have dropped out of the top 5.
Okay.
The only person in here I know is Yolandi from Chappie.
Okay.
I've got Tatiana Maslany.
Okay, she was good.
In what?
I don't know.
I've got Sophie Cookson.
Okay.
I've got Melissa Benoit and Leela Crawford.
Right.
I think Melissa Benoit was in Whiplash. I think she was the girlfriend, the person playing Supergirl.
Oh,
Okay.
She didn't have enough time in it.
He didn't, but that's why she was in Best Newcomer category and then dropped out.
Who's Sophie Cook?
Sophie Cookson, not a clue.
I know the name.
Fine, I'll look it up.
Yeah.
No, I know who it is.
Go on then.
I know who it is. She was the girl from Kingsman.
Ah, yes.
I liked her. And I think, now I think about it, Tatiana Maslany, I think she played young Helen Mirren in A Woman in Gold.
Ah, okay, right, yeah.
And I thought she was better acting than Helen Mirren was, so that's why she was nominated and Helen Mirren wasn't. And as we say, we'll have an official award show at the end of the year.
Yeah, this is just
and I'm going to put music to it. And we've
entire
always said
episode.
what we're going to do is, because we've done an award show every year on the website, except last year. And what we've always wanted to do is make actual awards and send them to the actors. And like we always want to do something shit, like if we we do 10 awards, I'll go out and I'll buy 10 pig key rings and then just like tip X on them what the award is and send them to that actor.
Yes, she was young Maria Altman in Woman in Gold.
There you go.
She's also in 30 episodes of Orphan Black, which I really want to watch.
Oh right, yeah, that's on
and 2 episodes of Parks and Rec.
Oh nice. I'll have to watch Orphan Black now because of her. Right, Alex, what category do you want to do next?
Best Director?
I was going to say Best Director now. Technical side.
I agree with Alex.
Yeah. So, who wants
He's
to go
good at this award
first?
thing.
Director, Alejandro Inarritu.
Ditto.
Is that Birdman?
It is Birdman.
I think the direction of Birdman was worthy.
Incredible.
Of.
Yeah, it was. It must have been so hard to do as well because of the way the camera work was going. And I mean, as I always point out, you know, you got to give the cinematographer some credit, but for the director to have the vision to hold the entire thing together,
Yeah.
it's like what I was talking about Boyhood last year. It's a directorial challenge in itself to even get the production done.
Except this time it paid off.
Yeah, well, in your opinion,
Have you not seen
I've not seen it.
Boyhood?
Not seen it.
I haven't seen it.
It's on a hard drive, but I'd never have 3.5 hours free to be like disappointed. So
What I'm saying is Birdman paid off.
yeah,
Second, anyone?
Kenneth Branagh, Cinderella. It was good direction. He made the story of Cinderella.
The same as it was.
He
before.
made it feel like it was the first time I'd been told the story because
I'm not going to argue, it was a very, very good film. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it. But
I'm trying to give it some credit that it deserves. 'Cause no, it's in no Oscar discussions. What's that about?
What's that?
Cinderella.
What? Not even like best
Picture. It's
Disney
not. It's not.
musical.
best costume.
It might win best costumes. I need to go back and look and see if I can find all those other Disney princesses in there.
Yeah. I do remember seeing a couple of them, especially in the ball.
I thought I saw Snow White in the ball, but I can't remember seeing anyone else.
Anyway, second place, Damien Chazelle, Whiplash.
Not on my list.
Not on your list?
Not on my list at all.
Do you not think it was incredible just how intense that film was? To be able to
I do,
direct
but
it. And...
I'm not sure how much he put into that.
Okay.
It may sound really harsh, but everything came from J.K. Simmons, in my opinion.
What about Alex Garland?
5th.
Okay.
What's that?
Ex Machina.
Ex Machina.
Directorial debut, very impressive because writers that turn to directing normally do a shit job, and he did a good job. He did an excellent job. I've also got David Zellner for that Looking for Kumiko film that I went to see.
Okay.
And I've also got Jean-Marc Vallée, but I can't remember what that was for.
You're not very prepared for this, are you?
Jean-Marc Vallée.
Has
Yeah.
no one got Clint Eastwood?
What was that for?
American Sniper.
Sniper. No, I don't. That's maybe should have dropped out.
George Miller? Mad Max?
Mad Max. Nah.
I've got Bennett Miller for Foxcatcher as well.
Right.
Just for creating a very eerie...
Yeah.
Even though it was very long, it kept it up the whole way through.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with it.
Right, how are you spelling Jean-Marc?
No. That's a fucking marvellous start. Jeanmarcvallee. I really,
ARC? Is it? Well, that didn't bring anything up.
maybe it's John Wick. I don't know.
I think it is John Wick.
What was
It's the guy from the Matrix.
What was his surname?
Vallee. He's definitely
Oh, Sean Mark Valley. Oh, it's because it had a fucking hyphen in it.
Yes, it has a hyphen in it. I didn't mention the hyphen.
He did Dallas Buyers Club, Wild.
Dallas Buyers Club's a great film. Did you like that when you watched it, Paul?
I haven't watched it yet.
It's still in there.
On top of my PS4.
Paul's got a Blu-ray copy just so he can get all of the...
no, Megan lent it to me.
Yeah.
It's hers.
Yeah.
All of the Jared Leto in a dress.
Yeah.
I love it.
In all its high-def glory.
Oh, he's making a film about Janis Joplin.
Do you want to say anything else about directors?
Neil Blomkamp dropped out of the top 5 for Chappie. He deserves more credit for that. Chappie got. I thought it was a great film.
It was quite a tight one because I felt John Wick could have got in there.
Yeah, I think it could have, but you know that production design, choreography almost.
Yeah.
Like how much did the director do to give it that
yeah.
atmosphere? And we don't. I'm not getting
That's
into.
the thing. Mine tends to go on atmosphere.
Yeah.
So all the sort of tend to follow a theme.
Oh, there's a Mockingjay teaser out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all right.
I haven't been here. I've been.
Yeah, let's move on. We've only got a couple left now.
2 left, I think.
So come on then. What makes more sense?
Visual effects.
Visual effects. It has to be
Mad Max.
It has to
Mad
be Mad Max.
Maximilian Fury Road.
Just because it was actually visual.
It was all real. Yeah, because we actually.
All
I had
stuff.
it as.
No, some bits where it shows bits that were added afterwards.
Yes, of course there is.
Like
Yeah, there's bits added
The
afterwards.
majority of it
Oh, the majority of it was
actual cars being blown up.
Yeah.
Which,
They'll always tweak things in
Looks a lot
post-production,
better.
no matter what they're doing.
but you can tell it was real.
Yeah.
And it looks much better than CGI crap.
There was bits in Avengers where I could tell...
Fast and Furious 7.
Well, yeah, it definitely did that.
Furious 7 is on my list.
For
Yeah,
what,
Alex actually prompted a name change of this category because I had it down as SFX just like out of habit.
Right.
Because
So
of all the
visual
films he
effects.
says. Alex made me change it because of Mad Max because it's not special effects because it's...
They're not special, they're real.
Yeah, they're real effects.
Special effects is CGI.
Yeah.
Visual effects is...
Well, no, because special effects existed before fucking CGI did.
Well, that's...
That's just how they do it now. There's
Yeah,
visual
so-
effects and special effects.
Did they?
Yeah.
They're 2 different branches.
That's
So
bullshit.
we've got visual effects as encompassing everything.
Special effects is sort of added in post-production sort of thing. Computerised.
And did you know that when computer effects were first used, I can't remember what film it was for, they weren't eligible for an Oscar because they thought using computers to do visual effects was cheating.
Yeah, it's quite fun.
I've got Chappie on because the performance.
The mocap was great.
Yeah, the mocap was amazing. You really thought he was a real person.
Yeah.
Tell you what sneaked into mine. Tomorrowland.
Really?
I thought Tomorrowland was beautifully done.
I can see it. To be honest, maybe I should have given it a go because it's got better effects in than Age of Ultron, which is in my top 5.
Yeah.
I'll agree with you. You know what? On the fly, I'm going to change my list.
Oh. What else is in your lists?
San Andreas.
No,
No.
not San Andreas. That was terrible.
The first scene was terrible. The rest
Yeah.
of it I thought was pretty good. It was proper.
It was alright, but it
proper
doesn't.
destruction porn. But the first scene with the car going
That
off the
was
cliff
that was really bad.
It was horrific.
It was like it was made for TV movie.
Yeah.
But even if you ignore that bit and do the rest of it, which did look better, like the bit with the tsunami when the boat was going up the side of it, I thought that looked really good.
What about the bit when she's in the building and it collapses and you see a punch through each floor?
Yeah, I thought that was quite good.
It's great.
But
I can't think of
it
much
doesn't
better.
top anything in my top 5, and therefore I wouldn't have added it to my list because I'd have had Mad Max, Chappie, Jupiter Ascending had amazing special effects.
I'm saying that.
It was amazing. I don't know how they did some of it because it's like, imagine the Matrix bullet time.
Yeah.
It was like that, but like fast and fluid, like all over the place, not just like going in a circle around them. They were like the camera was flying around all these things, and it was always close-ups of Mila Kunis's face, like as all this was happening. It was really impressive. It's a shame the rest of the film was diabolical. I put Cinderella in there.
Okay.
It had great visual effects, costumes, if you're including that, crowd scenes, the CG on the palace, and then all of the magic that was happening to turn the carriage and stuff.
Done.
It was. And I think anything on that top 5 would beat anything in San Andreas.
I would like to add Ex Machina.
Yeah?
Because
Just for the robot.
Yeah. Because it looked believable that it wasn't a real person. It sounds really weird to say, but like the fact that you could see all the internal parts and everything.
It was quite impressive actually because it was quite subtle.
Yeah.
Chappie's obviously a robot, and then it's more impressive that he emotes as a human. But for her, it was impressive because it was so subtle, but you knew she was a robot, but she came across quite humanoid, just naive almost.
Yeah.
Or is she?
Or is she?
Don't spoil it for me.
No, okay, sorry.
Final topic?
Soundtrack, best soundtrack of the year. So
I'm gonna sound like a broken record here, but Ex Machina.
Ex Machina, yeah.
It
was good.
Cinderella, Ex Machina, Cinderella, Ex Machina, Cinderella.
That actually never made my list, and it would have because it was so early on in the year. I've got Mad Max at the top of mine.
I have got Mad Max at the
I
top
thought
of
it was
mine.
amazing how
Just the drums.
yeah,
and the guitar.
drums in the deep. It was just it fitted so well. And the other film that reminded me of the Mad Max soundtrack was the John Wick soundtrack.
Okay.
What I need to do is, because I came out convinced that you only really heard it when that truck was in
I
shot.
think you're right. Yeah.
I don't think you did actually. Thinking about it, because a lot of the soundtrack is when he's escaping out that tunnel right at the start.
Yeah, but no, it's different though. Because there's the soundtrack when it's like shock orchestra notes and like orchestral themes. But when it's the guitars and the drums, I think you only hear that as the van is approaching and when it's right there.
Yeah.
So it's like whenever they're in the midst of like a fight scene during the car chase, you've got the high octane guitar drum riffs and stuff going on. But when everyone dropped back, there was either no soundtrack or mellow orchestra. I think that's what happened.
I need to watch it again because that's the way my brain has told me.
Yeah,
it worked.
What I felt like that anyway, and that's the main thing.
I think that's definitely right. What I want to know is, if we go back and watch it again, is when they're getting chased, does the music fade in from nothing?
I think it did.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I have convinced myself in my head that has happened,
and I think that was really impressive. Second on my list for best soundtrack of the year, Cinderella.
Oh, really?
Is it actually?
Yeah, it was a beautifully written piece of film music,
which were both very jazz drum based, but totally different.
Yeah,
Whiplash is on mine. Birdman dropped out for John Wick, but I still Pitch Perfect 2 in my top 5.
I've got It Follows.
Good soundtrack, very
Excellent
good soundtrack. Yeah,
it was incredibly creepy, very 80s vibe coming off it.
Fair enough.
And that's where we stand right now. If you think we've got any awards we've missed, let us know. Or if you think that we're talking shit, let us know that as well in the comments below.
Are there actually comments below?
Well, it's YouTube.
It's YouTube.
So you can comment.
I've just never seen anyone actually comment.
No, but
I've
I'm
seen
saying
anyone view it.
they can. There's the facilities on there.
They
to
don't
comment.
even have to view it. They can just listen to it. They don't have to watch it. It's just a picture.
Oh, I want to apologise to everyone for the last podcast because I said in the middle of the podcast that I was going to take a photo of you two and upload it in the middle of the video at that exact moment.
Okay.
But I didn't.
Why?
Because I didn't have time.
What were we doing?
I was going home the next day and I didn't have time to sit and organise the video and then process the video and then upload it in the time I had left.
What were we doing?
That deserved to be taken a photo of?
I can't remember. You were doing like something funny. I've still got the photo.
Oh.
Really?
I might have deleted it.
Can you put it on the group later?
I'll try.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Right then, so we've done our sort of 2015 so far, but now we've actually got movie reviews to do since the last podcast.
Yes.
Now we've covered San Andreas a lot already.
It was okay.
Do you want to tell us what
it's
about?
It was a good disaster movie. It's about a broken down helicopter that really shouldn't be in service.
Did you see that review I just sent to you? I sent it through the group.
I don't. Really.
Yeah, I didn't click it.
Yeah.
I'm like our listeners.
It was hilarious.
Non-existent.
It was a really satire review of San Andreas.
Okay.
It was piss funny.
I thought San Andreas was groundbreaking.
Had some cracking special effects.
Yeah. What else were we going to say? Shit,
Earth-shattering sound.
It was good at what it was.
It was frozen pizza.
If you'd had some of those puns and some of those jokes in a more serious film, it'd have been a negative point to that film. Whereas in here, it was kind of like, I like that.
I think it was cheese and it knew it.
Yeah, which is fine.
Pizza. It's cheap. You know exactly what you're getting. It's covered in cheese.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it though. So yeah.
Where do you get your frozen pizza? Because mine are never covered in cheese.
They've got a bit
I normally
cheese
feel like I have to grate extra cheese on there just to get it cheesy. Even if you buy like a 4-cheese frozen pizza, it's called a 4-cheese pizza because it's got 4 pieces of fucking cheese on it. Sorry.
I can't remember what I was saying. We just move on. I think the game.
Tomorrowland.
Right, I've got Jurassic World on the list. We haven't seen it yet. I don't know why I did that.
You're going
Because
tomorrow.
we are going to see it, and
Oh,
then we're
yes,
going
we
to add it
are.
on the end.
Sorry, everyone. It's going to be one of our In the Woods editions.
And Into the Woods.
I've heard a rumour that we've got a guest shit joining us.
Yeah, because Alex, what he's doing is inviting someone else whose opinion we
replace.
really don't care about, so we can mock, ridicule, and talk over them.
Are you not here next week?
Yeah, I'm not going to see.
He's not going to see Jurassic World
Over the
with us.
weekend?
I don't have time.
Alright, that's fine.
That's the
then,
point. Is our special guest seeing it before we do the
He
recording?
said he will. Yes.
Okay.
And we're going to do an Into the Woods cast as we did with Avengers. To be honest, I think we should start doing that more often because I have noticed that the quality of sound coming out of my phone microphone is better than this £45 professional podcast mic that I invested in.
I think it was just the acoustic of outdoors.
Maybe. It was interesting when the dog came. That was good.
That's true. I got all excited. Yeah, go on then.
So what do you want to cover next?
Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland would be a good
Tomorrowland.
one to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's about a girl
Yeah.
that gets a badge
Yeah.
that she sees a place that's magical and then she wants to go there and then
Yeah.
it turns out that it's horrible and she
Yeah.
has to save it,
Yeah.
but really she doesn't really do much.
No.
And then everything's saved.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah.
No, you forgot the really creepy bit at the end with George Clooney.
Oh
and the
yeah,
little girl,
George
which was just a
Clooney
little
turning
bit
into a
uncomfortable,
paedophile.
to be honest.
Yeah, that was pretty creepy.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they finished with a joke instead of a tender moment because she does the whole, you know why you didn't make me laugh, right? Because you're not funny.
Yeah.
And he's like smiles. Because if they'd gone for like I love you too thing, that would have been like, okay guys.
Yeah.
Complex.
It was.
There was not enough of the good bits, and there was too much of the not good bits.
Yeah, and I've got to say, I thought the film up to the point of getting to Tomorrowland was better than the film from once they got there.
There wasn't enough Tomorrowland. There wasn't
Yeah.
enough
See,
Hugh
this is
Laurie.
the problem-
They rushed
this is the
through
problem I had. Right. All the bits of Tomorrowland that you see in the trailer
Mhm.
are effectively an advert for
Yeah.
Tomorrowland.
Yeah,
Tomorrowland itself is a decaying mess.
There's
the
no
same
one there.
as
Apart from the opening scene,
yeah, when he's there.
when he's
when
there.
Yeah.
young George Clooney
Yeah.
goes, yeah.
So why would you want to spend more time there? It's just the same shit as we are.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of the point, though, isn't it?
that is the point of it, but
It's got a good message. It just doesn't
Yes.
convey it very well.
yeah, well, it's a completely different message to the one I thought. It's more. I thought it was going to be like innovation is key, but it was more like positive thinking is key almost.
It's a good film for kids.
It's a great film for kids.
And that's what I do keep forgetting. It was made for kids.
Yeah.
It's a Disney film.
I was expecting because Disney's normally good at catering to both audiences, and this felt a bit child heavy.
So I've read a lot of things from people who've taken kids to see it, and they've been sort of really taken back with it, thinking, "Oh, this is wonderful," and they've started getting really sort of inquisitive about
that's
it.
good.
And that's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
I think just because they're a bit older and more
Cynical.
pessimistic and cynical, yeah, it's not quite tickled us in the same way.
I was also really annoyed with everyone appearing in that same cornfield at the same time.
Yes.
I kind of explained that to you
No, at
by
the
saying
same time,
it doesn't matter.
it may not matter, but the physics behind
Yeah.
it was bullshit.
Yeah. One we've got lists.
So I was gonna say, what I didn't like was like the setup was amazing, and the journey to getting to Tomorrowland was exciting.
It
like,
was
they were
exciting.
on the run.
Yeah.
the final act was just a letdown.
The final act was just people talking. It's just like Hugh Laurie's been built up as this arsehole, which he was an arsehole, but
Was
to
he
get,
also?
Yeah, I think he was.
I don't think he was. I
They
don't
would Disney don't kill people very often, and spoilers, he gets killed pretty severely here.
He could get sent into house.
Did you think?
Yeah, they crushed his leg.
Yeah.
They turned him into house.
No, but then he gets the fucking thing land on the rest of his body.
Could have been hollow.
He could have
So-
suddenly disappeared at the end and ended up in a TV program about
Princeton
a doctor.
Plansborough Hospital with a gammy leg.
Yeah.
And
So
an
what I
American
didn't
accent.
like about him
Derailed a little bit.
Was
he
the
took
fact
he
that-
took his badge off and ended up back in the real world where he was
Yes.
a doctor.
was the fact that they get to Tomorrowland after being chased at gunpoint by murderous robots.
Yeah.
And as soon as they get there and they come face to face with the actual villain, he's like, "Oh hey,
Oh, you're
what's
here.
up?
You were told not
Yeah.
to come here again.
I'll show you the grand tour." And it's just like,
I'll explain the evil
Yeah.
diabolical plot.
and I was just like groaning. And it's just like, why? There should have been more people in Tomorrowland, even if it was a decaying, decrepit mess. It should have been like a dystopian society, and they had to like get around undercover or something and
Yeah.
actually do something to take down the machine. Sure, a face-to-face confrontation with him at the end where they explain to him what the machine's doing, and then he still ignores them as he does anyway.
How brilliant was his monologue, though?
His monologue was fantastic, and I completely see his point.
Absolutely love Hugh Laurie. He's one of my favourite actors.
But yeah, it was just the last act was just completely let down. But as a lot of people say, it's more about the journey than the destination, and in this film, definitely proved it. And I liked the little girl that I thought would annoy me, but she was one of the better characters.
Yeah. Oh, she's not a newcomer, so she's off the list.
Yep. So yeah, it's one of my disappointments of the year, which is a bit of a shame.
Man Up and Spy.
Double bill for
what
us.
do you want to do first?
Well, let's do the order we saw it, shall we?
Spy.
Yeah. It's exactly the film I thought it would be. It's as funny as I thought it would be.
It's
as
better,
good as I thought
funnier
it would
than I
be.
thought it was going to be. I was expecting it to have some cheap laughs, but it was really, really funny.
I didn't expect cheap laughs, because it's written by Paul Feig and he's pretty good. I thought there'd be more laughs because there was longer periods of time in between jokes. I felt.
Yeah,
right.
But the jokes were
quality when they were there. I don't think there was a single joke that fell flat.
No.
But there was a lot of just stuff in between. Who was the funniest person in this film?
Jason Statham.
I think so as
Jason
well.
Statham, yeah.
I never knew he had that sort of.
He was very
comedic
slapstick. It was almost like Peter Sellers.
It wasn't so that. It was the fact I loved about it. He was so deadpan.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was intentional. It was a bit sort of Leslie
Do you think it's just that he
Nielsen-esque.
can't act?
Maybe.
I see what you say about Sellers though.
Yeah.
But no, I think he can act better than I thought he could.
He
'cause
can
it was-
act, you know.
Yeah.
But it was really my sense of humour. It was just a deadpan delivery of all his
Ridiculous
lines.
stuff.
It had that Clouseau-esque thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Because basically, he was constantly saying that she was the one that was going to make everything go wrong, and it was his actions that were causing the problems in the first place. So that it just made me think, like Pink Panther.
I'm saying I got Leslie Nielsen vibe.
Okay, yeah, no, it works.
Sort of airplane, sort of.
Yeah.
Do you think that the only reason Jude Law had an American accent is because they got Jason Statham in it? They couldn't have two British people working with the CIA.
Distinctly
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah, because it seemed a bit weird.
It
Maybe
threw
Jude
me
Law's
slightly.
American accent is better
Yeah.
than Jason Statham's.
I think Jason Statham has always been the English guy in American films, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Jude
Like
Law
the
has probably mixed it up a
Expendables.
bit more.
Yeah.
He's known in the Expendables for being the English art.
Yeah. But I'm just wondering though, like, did they have, before they got Statham in, would Jude Law have a British
Because
accent?
obviously, what's the name? That was the other analyst was an English comedian as well.
Yeah, and Rose Byrne is English, the villain.
Also, I don't know if it's spoiling anything, but the MI6 agent at the end.
But yes, Peter Serafinowicz is English.
Yeah. It's
The only American
it's
person
a
in
very
it.
English
Yeah.
cast, thinking about it.
Is Melissa
Maybe that's why we
McCarthy.
liked it.
I loved Peter
British comedy.
Serafinowicz.
Peter Serafinowicz was so good. He was such a surprise as well. Like, we actually cheered when we saw his name because he's good in anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He's an Italian.
and that's
Perfect.
perfect. He's brilliant. Where did this come out as? It came out alright. I enjoyed it. It was funny.
Came out as 10th for me.
10th best of the year.
Blimey.
I've seen our
Time was
mutual
wild.
associate from Comic Con said it's his film of the year. I think, didn't he? Or second best film of the year.
Yeah.
It's one of the best comedies I've seen in a long time.
I wonder. Right, let's have a look at my film list again, since we're not going to look at like stats again for 6 months. Top ranking comedy on my list.
It's the interview. On
It's
mine.
the interview on mine,
Yes.
and then it is Man Up comes above Spy for me.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
So-
a comedy, I suppose. But
We'll talk a bit about Man Up more than Spy because I think everyone gets a grasp of what Spy is. Man Up is about a woman who gate crashes a blind date,
Yeah.
and she's sort of like socially isolated,
I'd say she's
a recluse, or
socially awkward. I
yeah,
think.
I'd say socially
It's
awkward.
the first scene when she's sort of set up with that guy.
yeah, but she's socially awkward when she's in a social situation, but she often doesn't seek those social situations out. So for the most part, she's not awkward because she's not in a situation to be awkward. Is what I was trying to get at.
But even when she's doing her sort of monologue at the beginning in the mirror,
Yeah.
That's true.
she
She
comes
is a bit
across as
awkward.
quite
Yeah.
awkward.
So she gate crashes a blind date because her sister's always telling her to do some more stuff like spontaneous and things like that. And she ends up spending a really nice day with Simon Pegg, but then she reveals that she's not the girl it's supposed to meet. So he
She
goes
doesn't
off.
really reveal it. It's revealed
To
for
him.
her.
Yeah, she wanted to though.
That's
that
true.
always
She did
was her
try,
intention. She
yeah.
did try, which I think is important to get on her
Yeah.
side for the audience. And then it's like it feels like a classic British rom-com. It also felt as well.
You really sort of feel for both the characters. Don't
Yeah,
you? There's
I
no
really did.
I really related to Simon Pegg's 40-year-old divorcee who just wants a date.
Why?
Really?
With a 24-year-old?
Yeah, why not?
Or a 34-year-old?
Either.
Did anyone else think that was really weird?
What? That he was going up with a 24-year-old?
Yeah.
Not
Okay,
really.
right, hang on a minute. How old are you now?
26.
Right, and I'm
24. To put it in
I'm
context.
over 40.
Yeah.
If I had the opportunity to go out for a date with a 24-year-old, I probably would.
Yeah, but it's just like, I don't know, I never thought, once you get past 22, age didn't really matter, I never thought. But watching that film, seeing Simon Pegg go out with that young girl seemed a bit odd to me.
Okay.
In real life, I don't think I would probably possibly look twice at something like that. But she was so staggeringly young and beautiful and successful, and Simon Pegg wasn't.
Did you twig who she was?
Who?
Oh yeah, do you know who she is?
Blind date.
The actual one.
The 24-year-old?
Yeah.
Who was she?
She's in Guardians of the Galaxy. She has lines.
She's the one who touches the Infinity Stone. and
I'm
explodes.
no longer
Yes.
your slave!
Yes, that's her. That's her.
Yeah, she's not read in this. But I almost put her on. She was nominated for Hottie of the Month for Guardians of the Galaxy last year.
Really?
Yeah. Because I think she's really hot.
What about Nebula?
Yeah, I like girls covered in red body paint. I liked her because in a lot of films she would have been like the wrong girl for him, but they would have gone beyond that and made her a horrible person. Whereas in this, she's really nice. She really wants to make it work with Simon Pegg, even though it's obvious that they're wrong for each other. And he still has to make the decision based on someone that's really young, hot, and nice against someone that lied to him, but he had a real connection with. And it made it more interesting than if she turned out to be a cow.
Yeah. I did enjoy it.
Yeah. I've never seen a bumbling English woman portrayed so well on screen, let alone by an American.
Yeah.
I almost didn't believe it. And then you played me a snippet from an interview and it's like, oh, yeah, you're right, she is indeed American.
I thought she was really good. Simon Pegg was good. Do you think anyone else could have done that? Because this would have been Hugh Grant's film 10 years ago.
That's true.
I never actually see Simon Pegg as a rom-com guy. He's always a nerdy sort of
Hasn't
guy.
he done? Didn't he do that one about the guy who had to do a run?
Yeah,
It's
Ron
more of a
555.
comedy than a drama on that one, yeah. Because he doesn't actually spend much time with the girl.
Okay.
Because he's already divorced from her.
Right.
He's doing it for his son more than anything.
I said in the car on the way home that Lake Bell kind of reminded me of Daisy from Space.
Yeah.
In bumbling kind of way. And I don't know if that's why it felt like there was
A natural
something
fit,
there
yeah.
because I'd sort of seen that relationship between Simon Pegg and a female character before.
I know nothing about the production of this film. It might be interesting to go and look and see who wrote it or who produced it or something, because as it's very British, it's BBC film. But you're right on the sort of character of Nancy and Daisy are very similar.
Interesting.
Well, that's me observing
Because
stuff.
Yes.
That's that thing again.
in Spaced, they're like an odd couple because they have to pretend that they're going out.
Yes.
And there's moments in this film where they do exactly the same thing. And I've only seen a few episodes of Spaced, but I see what you mean entirely, because in those moments where they have to pretend to be together in Spaced, it was a very similar dynamic.
Yeah. I think so.
So would you recommend it to anyone?
I
Man, I really would.
I would.
I did really enjoy it.
This is, can you remember when I introduced the Simon Cry factor? Or whatever we called it?
What? Yeah,
cryometer.
The cryometer. We called it something. This is the first film since we introduced it that has charted.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
I had a long gap without feeling anything. It got 2.
Ah.
Which meant...
What bits upset you?
no, happy sad.
Happiness.
When he was giving his speech at the end.
That was quite nice.
Yeah. And no British rom-com is complete without probably the boy giving a speech about his heartfelt love for someone. Unless it's Wimbledon and you see Paul Bettany slamming
How much did you know though that when they opened the door at the party and when the door was opened, you didn't know that was not going to be them?
What?
You know where both doors opened and she was like, "Why are you here?"
Spoiler.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, we've spoiled everything we've talked about so far.
That's a big one.
Like,
yeah, it's spoiling a British rom-com. We haven't said to anyone that you know.
But
I did not see that coming.
Really?
I was
Really?
waiting.
I thought it was going to be a big cheesy ending.
Yeah, straight away.
No.
Burst through the door.
That was so obvious that was going to be the wrong door.
That's why I loved that bit. And he turned up and it's full of like 17-year-olds
Yeah.
having a house party.
That made the film, because if this had been any other thing, something that no other rom-com would have done. And we'll get to the point where rom-coms are 5 hours long, because at every point you think you know where it's going, they have to go off track and then get back to the end somehow.
We also had 2 Game of Thrones guest appearances in the film.
Yes, Samuel Tarly rocked up and
Yes,
played
he
Samuel Tarly. He took the black and became a waiter.
Who was the second one?
Oh, you don't know who the second one was? I've forgotten now, so I was trying to be all mysterious.
It was just you talking about the 17-year-olds at the party that made me remember.
Oh, yeah. Right, can I tell them the story on how I looked this up? I was looking down the list of all the actors in it, and I got to this actor. I was like, fuck me, he's in Game of Thrones as well, because there's a kid at the party that I thought looked like Joffrey. And I was like, well, that's not Joffrey, because he's like older now. It's Tommen.
Is that the one who says, "Oh, she's"?
Yeah. I was like, Paul said that the casting lady for Game of Thrones has to be given an award, because I'd confused Screen Brothers outside of the show that they're in together, and they're not related at all.
It does just seem like they've been filming Game of Thrones somewhere, like Shepperton or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, we've got a bit of downtime. Do you want to be like a hotel busboy?
You see, I'd love to, like, I think Rooster Teeth mentioned it once, where wouldn't it be great if, like, for extras or for, like, bit parts, if you used to be the president of the United States, you move to Hollywood and you're like, I'll be the president in every film from now on. Like Game of Thrones, like, every person who has a bit part in a film was out in Game of Thrones, for example. Because it'd be really funny.
That would be quite funny.
Like, you know, in
Constant
Fanboys,
cameos.
when Carrie Fisher's the doctor
Yeah.
and Billy D. Williams is the judge. It's just like, it's in a Star Wars fan film, and it's got all these Star Wars actors in as well. It just makes it. I'd love to see it.
Just a good cameo is good, I think.
Yeah. But like linked cameos the entire
Yeah.
time.
That would be quite funny.
I like Fanboys when William Shatner turns up. And they're like, you know how to get into the Star Wars ranch? And he's like, yeah. He's like, you can score that? He's like, I'm William Shatner, I can score anything. Great film. Top of the list.
So we all liked Man Up.
We all did.
Right, that's it. I'm going to put in some dinosaur noises in between this and the next bit.
Okay.
But until then, unless there's anything else.
We should play Guess the Intro. So, intro number 1.
Frozen.
Intro number 2.
Jurassic World.
Intro number 3.
Back in Black. Iron Man.
Yay!
AC/DC.
Well done. Well done.
I hope someone gets that joke.
I hope so.
David Cook.
No one will get that.
So meta.
Right, check out the Facebook, check out the Twitter. Oh, actually, don't bother checking out the Twitter. Check out the Facebook, subscribe, tell your friends about us, and hang on for the Jurassic World trailer.
I sent us a letter.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, send us a letter?
You mentioned everything else. I just
Oh, right.
Where are they going to send it to, Alex? Like the North Pole?
Send it to work. We'll work there.
Yeah, but they don't know where we work.
Leave it.
And stay tuned for the next bit, which Alex won't be in.
Hooray.
Perhaps there might be something even after the end theme song.
Really?
Maybe.
Ooh, teasers.
Teasers. There might not be. You have to listen.
I'm listening.
Saying bye because Alex isn't getting the last word.
Say bye then, Alex.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
We're actually recording. Game of Thrones.
Dun dun dun
Dun, 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 dun.
dun 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 dun.
Do you know what we're recording now?
Star Wars.
Yeah. Have you seen Jurassic World yet? Is
Yes,
that
I
why
have.
you've- Oh,
Yes,
that's
I
all
have.
right.
That's
'cause
why you invited me over here.
yeah, I know that's why I invited you over here, but you thought we were doing Game of Thrones.
Me said we're doing Game of Thrones.
We are, not now.
When did I say we were doing Game of Thrones?
The other day.
Didn't I tell you that?
No, you told me that.
I don't think I've told
I
Paul that
haven't
we're doing Game
mentioned
of
it.
Thrones.
No, you told me it.
Oh yeah,
I
Paul
know I
doesn't
did.
know.
Paul, because Paul hasn't seen the last
Yeah.
episode yet, I bet.
No, I've watched 2 now though. Oh, that last episode.
Only 8 more to go.
Right, so this is the Jurassic World
Add on.
supplementary review. So,
Bench
Paul,
my way.
how was the film?
Did you wait for him to take a bite of his
Yeah,
sandwich?
I think he did.
No, I was
Simon, it was good.
because I'm making fun of him for saying that. So I went to him first.
It was a very well made adventure film that I thought was a good nod back to the original Jurassic Park.
Indeed. I should say that we've got a guest with us
carry on.
today, as by his own title, guest shit.
Martin, welcome to the show.
Sup?
Now,
Guest shit.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
he said that.
No, it's because Paul said guest. No, Simon said guest star. And
I just
then
said
Paul
guest.
was like, he's not really a star, and I was like, yeah, just call me guest shit. I was like, well,
Oh,
alright.
shit, guest.
Yeah. Oh, well, thanks.
So you've actually made some notes.
Yeah, I know. I'm the nerd of the group. And
Can you
actually,
throw them away?
can I throw them away?
Yeah, this is all just ad lib.
Yeah, we don't care.
No, I'm just got
No.
a bad memory.
Oh, okay.
So do we. That's why
It
it's
had
funny.
dinosaurs in.
Yeah.
I can't remember
Look,
the
I've,
back of
I've
the
written that somewhere.
So how many pages of notes have you got?
4.5.
Okay, so to
don't-
sum up your 4 pages,
Yeah.
what would you say?
Tick, tick, cross.
Don't look.
Tick tick cross. Yeah, no, those are my pre. To sum them up, basically, I thought it was good. It sat sort of between
Good. See?
I'm expanding. That's like the subtitle, and then like you got.
Stealing my lines.
But yeah, no, it's like I thought it was sat between the first, second, and third. Sort of, it was in between the original and sort of like
The other ones, yeah.
I was not disappointed with Chris Pratt. I
Yes.
thought I had an iggling feeling that he might disappoint me, but he was actually the best part,
Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
agree with that.
especially with that Claire Bint.
Nice. We all
dare
quite
you.
like her. Yeah.
Really, you
I've
all
heard
We
liked her?
found out today that she's Ron Howard's daughter.
Yes. I found out years ago. Yeah.
Well, good for you.
She's also in Spider-Man 3.
Yes, and we'll show.
Wait, is she?
She's also
Gwen
girl in
Stacy
yellow dress.
in.
Can't remember.
But yeah, I'll agree.
Wasn't she red-headed girl in something as well?
Yes.
Well, she's red-headed girl. I thought all the well, no, I say all
No.
the actors, but we've
No,
got
they
some
weren't.
serious problems with some of them. By that, I
Two
mean
actors.
Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard playing the 2 leads.
And
The film
Velociraptors.
should have been about them.
Yeah.
I don't think it needed the other characters in
Well,
it, to be
it's
honest.
pathetic. What about the... Look, I'm a teenage boy. Every time I come on screen, I have to be staring at a girl to
Yeah.
make sure you know I'm
Yeah.
a teenage boy.
And my parents
Or
are
on
getting
his phone.
divorced.
I think that was a bit of a nod back to the...
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What was
As
that?
bad as your laptop.
It's my my ringtone. So I really enjoyed the film, though. I thought, it, as Martin said, it sits between the first one and the second one for me. It was, I think, closer to the first one than the second one, but still
Yeah.
miles away in terms of enjoyment and quality.
It is a
Because the
good
first
film.
one is excellent. This is
It's
this
not
is
a
a good
great
film. Is right. So there's a couple points we have to cover. We like Chris Pratt. Most of us like Bryce Dallas Howard, and I think we've established that there's not much coming out this month. So we've got Hottie and Hunk of the month with them two. Probably watch this space. Storyline about trainable velociraptors. What do we think?
Different, I liked it.
Yeah.
I don't suppose it's different to training any other wild
No,
animal.
exactly. Yeah.
I was going to say.
You know,
Like,
dogs were wild animals at one point till they were domesticated.
Yeah.
So why is it any different?
Well, I think
Dogs exist.
velociraptors existed.
Alex, they were in a film. I saw them on the screen.
I'm
yeah.
training my own army of unicorns then.
Wait, hold on. Jurassic Park wasn't a documentary.
No, Jurassic Park was. Jurassic World isn't.
Oh, okay.
Like they could create that.
It was a making of documentary, so it wasn't.
Oh, close enough.
If you read the original script, it had some horrible. Paul's just
punch
killed
yourself in
himself
the
on an
face.
apple. What have you done?
These lunchtime podcasts never go
Yeah,
smoothly, do
this
they?
is the dog of the first one.
the escape dog.
So, in the original script, it had something like dog or human hybrid velociraptors that were trained, and they were sort of cyborgs. And apparently, it's ranked as one of the worst scripts ever written.
Robot dinosaurs. Yeah. What's wrong about that?
Robot dinosaur, sweet.
Yeah, so they didn't do
they've
that.
got that.
I think what happened in this film was quite believable. What I didn't think was that guy was like, "Yeah, let's put them in a rack." Makes sense. It was
Yeah,
like,
that was a
I
bit-
think the project needed a bit of work rather than him was like, we should put these on the battlefield immediately.
Yeah.
He seemed to be pushing a bit too hard.
I don't know how they cope in the middle of a desert.
Yeah. It's like Spider-Man in a desert. He'd be the world's shittest superhero.
I think that the angle was good, getting it from the military side. But
Yeah, I
like you
agree with
say,
that,
it's
but
just
it was
the way
far
they implemented it was
Too
a bit-
exaggerated.
yeah.
And in fact, we're going to talk about actors. I think one of the ones who was underused was the... I really liked that tech guy that was in...
Oh, the nerd in the
yeah.
control. Talking about him, did anyone notice the Ian Malcolm book that he had on his
Oh,
desk?
no, did he?
Yeah,
Nice.
he did.
No, speaking of
clocked
getting
it.
noticed, did anyone notice the
Margarita
the
Man.
Margarita Man? Did you not?
I swear that was Stan Lee or something. But I know it can't have been. I know it can't have
someone
been.
famous. He owns a big margarita chain.
Oh, that's amazing.
He owns a chain called Margaritaville because his stall was
Yeah.
his
Margaritaville.
actual Margaritaville.
He went and grabbed them when there was
okay.
the
So there
pterodactyls.
wasn't a
were
line in
going.
the film talking about $10 margaritas
Yeah.
or something.
Apparently, he was like, he provides the bar service for the film.
Yeah, and they just had to give him a little cameo, which was the greatest cameo of all time.
So, right, sexism we have to discuss. Did anyone think it was overly sexist?
No, I don't think it was sexist enough.
I have to say, I heard this from Paul the other day,
Yeah.
and I completely disagree. Like,
Yeah, people are making a big deal out of it, but because Bryce Dallas Howard's character, she's uptight and she doesn't know how to work in a real world situation. But the
Is
fact
that what they're actually complaining about?
yeah,
Oh, 'cause I
and
thought
she was
it
like,
was like-
you kind of noticed that she wore her high heels the whole time, and that was ridiculous. Which that bit was,
Yeah,
but I don't think it had anything to do with her being a woman.
As opposed to Chris Pratt's character, who was in the Navy. As long as you know that he was in the Navy. Because did
and
you know
not
he
the
was in the
Navajo.
Navy?
No, he was
He
in
was
the
not
Navy,
in the
not the
Navajo.
Navajo.
Yes, he was definitely in the
But-
Navy.
My
I
point-
was just going to say,
Yeah.
I thought the problem that they had was that she was this successful businesswoman, but she had to be successful in business, she had to give up her soul pretty much and become a humanless robot who didn't care about people
didn't have
or
any children,
animals or
yeah.
anything.
But just like real life.
So how is that sexist though? Wouldn't it have been more sexist had she been like a mother first and
No.
worrying about her own children? And I don't
Saying
understand.
because she's a woman, she can't have that, whereas men can.
So it's anti-sexist though compared to the usual sexist slant, because they're normally saying a woman has to be like a mother and a caregiver, and in this one she was the opposite.
Yeah, but she was she couldn't be successful and a mother and a
one or the
caring
other.
human being. She had to be an emotionless
Oh yeah, no, I see.
robot.
No, what my point is though, if she had been the mother from the start, they'd have been complaining like, oh, why does the main character of the theme park have to be this traditional matriarchal role model? I think they'd have found something to complain about either way, just because she's the.
That's my point. People
Yeah.
would have found something to complain
So I don't
about.
think that that's an issue at all. I can't remember what the other thing was we had to discuss in the film. What people didn't like.
Product placement.
Product placement.
Oh, sponsored by Beats and Mercedes.
I
and
didn't
Coke.
notice. I didn't notice the Mercedes thing.
Do
To
you
be
know
honest.
what? Spy and BMW
Yeah.
was more prominent than
Spy was just as
Mercedes
bad,
and Jurassic
yeah.
Park.
Spy was worse for
World,
like
fuck
one
no.
thing, whereas Jurassic World had several throughout that I didn't think diminished from it. Because I think if it was a real world theme park, they probably would have done something similar.
Sponsorships,
and,
yeah.
And when it comes to the Mercedes one, which is the only product placement that isn't tied to an attraction, I didn't really notice it as being that prevalent. I thought the Samsung Innovation Centre and the Coca-Cola,
I
and
did
then
like the idea that they made a little stab towards it. In the
yeah,
film.
exactly.
And your best friend in the computer tech guy.
Yeah, and
Wanted to call it
Pepsi-saurus.
Yeah.
Was that, I thought it was the Verizon or
No, they
something.
called it that was the it
Oh,
was the
yeah.
Verizon wireless Indominus Rex, but he said, well, we might as well just call it the Pepsi-saurus.
That was it, yeah.
And so I think they nodded to it,
It was a
and
little jibe towards it.
yeah, and
While
so I
still
don't
claiming money.
yeah, I don't think it was an issue, and everyone's complaining about the Mercedes thing, but to be honest, the only shot where the Mercedes logo was particularly prevalent, it was an action shot of her bombing along the road, and what film doesn't start out with the camera up in the grill and swinging it around? It's
There
just a
was one
traditional
shot where they got out of a car and it panned from like the passenger side to the driver's side very slowly across
Right.
the front grille.
I can't
That's
say I
the one
noticed
stuck
that
in my
one.
mind.
Everyone's saying that one of them is, you know, when she goes up to Chris Pratt and says, "Do you want to see something cool?" referencing the Indominus Rex. The next thing you see is the car, and I didn't even notice that. I was just concerned about the dinosaur that was about to be on the screen. But if we talk about, let's go back to just raw enjoyment. Thought it was very good. One of my favourite points was I'd forgotten that T-Rex was even a dinosaur because I'd been focusing on this other thing. And when she pops that flare.
Not
And
no.
as soon as the flare was lit, it's like, oh yeah.
Well,
I
as
knew
soon
it.
as
soon as he said when you need more teeth.
Yeah,
I
as soon
thought,
as he said
yes.
that, I was like, they're getting another dinosaur. And when the T-Rex emerges, that was so awesome. Like, just the way it came out of the darkness.
Do you think it's the same T-Rex from Jurassic Park?
That's
Yeah.
what I was going to say.
Because she could outrun this in high heels, whereas the first one pretty much caught up with a Jeep.
Yeah.
So I think it's a bit old. It's arthritic.
Yeah, I think possibly it is.
Before
still part of the
before
fight.
fighting the Indominus Rex, did it actually have some scars? Because I'm sure it did.
It probably did,
There
yeah.
was some
remember
across the
seeing.
there was some across the eye that I noticed when it did the wide shot near the end when it
Yeah.
was roaring. That like some of the scars were actually white if they'd healed.
So,
Maybe then.
did any of you have... Because that was a moment that really stuck with me as being just, like, cool. What was some ones that you guys thought?
The one of the death scenes. That woman. I
Oh
can't
my
remember
God,
the name of
the
character.
English woman.
Yeah.
Oh,
God.
what with the
It's like
pterodactyls
Zara.
dipping it like teabag?
It's because it was just like
Nothing went right.
it was like
did
30 seconds of, oh my God, she's been picked up by a pterodactyl. Oh, it's okay. Another one.
Oh, she's
fall-
been dropped on her head.
Oh, she's in the water with the big. Oh, it's okay. She's been.
She's dead.
I half expected her because here's the spoiler. That is what finally kills the big dinosaur at the end, the water dinosaur. I was half expecting her to like come out of its mouth and grab the big dinosaur and pull it in. It was like she gets a shining moment as the hero.
I think that ending was actually the worst part of the film for me.
Oh, really?
The ending?
Yeah.
I thought it was one of
And
that.
it's just like a Deus Ex Machina.
No,
Like,
he's on about the water thing
the
coming
water
out of
thing.
the.
Oh, right, yeah.
But the fact they'd referenced it earlier on, I think, made it okay. But I agree with
I
you.
thought maybe they just wanted to use the same stock footage of it coming out of the water.
For a third time.
Yeah.
Just
They
turn
just
it
needed
90
the Indominus
degrees.
Rex. Yeah, exactly. They just changed the camera angle a bit.
I'll tell you what, I thought the Wombo combo between the T-Rex and Blue was a tiny bit far-fetched. Like, I can
Yeah,
understand
maybe.
that animals like banding together to defeat something big and nasty, but like, it's just like Blue was like riding the T-Rex all over the place, and I'm just like, what?
At that point, I was, disillusioned of reality. I was
Yeah.
just going along with it. There was nothing that I thought was overly unrealistic that pulled me out of the film. Anything that happened was either realistic or it was fun enough to not matter.
I thought it actually started quite badly.
It was the first 10 minutes you're on about.
Yeah.
Very slow and with characters you don't care about.
Yeah.
I think it picked up once...
Once Chris Pratt came
once
on
Chris
screen.
Pratt came on screen.
And you saw the velocity of it.
yeah, I think the whole film should have been about him.
It kind of was, but...
Every time it cut to the kids, it was just
Why?
shit.
Why
Yeah.
let these, 14-year-old kids loose in these...
Because they had special wristbands.
Yeah, VIP wristbands, man.
And they ran away from their... Like, I
Full
thought...
attraction.
I don't think that...
Just letting little kids in these full control of these little balls in fields full of dinosaurs.
Controllers.
Well, yeah, but it's fine. It's a theme park.
That's
It's
well,
normally a
well.
stegosaurus. There's not normally like a massive thing on the loose.
That's not the point.
There's been no accidents up until that point, Alex. The diagram that I thought was an overlook was one of them balls driving through one of the massive piles of shit.
And it's still
And
sparkly
then
clean.
there's like a massive smear all the way around the ball.
Nice.
That didn't happen in the film.
Yeah.
did it?
That was
No.
one thing that I had wrong with the premise of the film.
Mhm.
The fact that it's been open for years and nothing's gone wrong, right? Why the fuck? I know it's business people and they fucking suck, but why fuck with it? Like, they all know it's dinosaurs. They all know that at any point they
How
can rip
long would a
through
theme
these,
park
like-
last if it didn't introduce new rides?
It
Well,
kind
look
of explains that point
Yeah, I think it...
quite in depth in the film.
It's more of a zoo though than a theme park.
Nah,
Because
this
you've
is.
got the
I think
live
this is a
animals.
theme park because they
I'd
make
say
a
it's a
point
theme
of
park.
saying that the original design of the island was just to have dinosaurs, and I think Chris Pratt even says they didn't have any roller coasters in the original design. Why do we need them now? I think it all made sense. Like anything that they were going to do with Jurassic Park 4, what it would have been. I think it's a logical step between. It's 20 years have passed almost. I think it made sense.
Fair enough.
And right, so we're all looking forward to any sequels because they're definitely happening.
Yes, Chris Pratt has announced it.
Chris Pratt's announced that he's signed on for more, but have you seen the extortionate amount of money it's made?
Well,
Yeah.
it's the biggest opening weekend in history.
Like
Yeah.
210 million or
Yeah.
something.
We looked up the stats the other week. 207 million was the previous record.
Was that
Avengers 1.
Avengers?
I think Avengers 2 was just over 200 million for the weekend, maybe?
I've seen different figures because the ones that I read opening weekend, it was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 at 483
That's
million.
worldwide. This is
Oh,
domestic
this is
USA,
worldwide,
yeah.
right, okay. I don't
Because
know then.
if that's the case, I think Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows worldwide is the biggest opening.
No, it beat it. It got 500.
Yeah, I know, that's what I was just going to say.
Yeah.
This got over 511 million worldwide. This had 185 million domestic on Saturday when it woke up, so it had the rest of Saturday and Sunday to get 20 mil.
The weekend, which is the busiest time.
Yeah. And it's the biggest June opening of all time. And people are putting it down
Apart
to
from
the
my mum
fact
giving
that...
birth.
Hey, happy birthday, Paul, we
Thanks.
should say.
Just leave it to the middle.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been an opening thing. But
So yeah, definitely see. I'm looking forward to it. This was fun enough, and my point is that no matter there's some people saying out and being critical of it, it's fine because it's a Jurassic Park film. Apart from the first one, which was a technical breakthrough, and it's a Spielberg film, so it's fun. But it's the Jurassic Park world was never going to be Oscar winning, was it? On any level?
no.
It was it's a summer blockbuster.
Yeah, it's exactly what I want from some little blockbuster, and very respectful of the original film.
I liked the nods to the original film.
Kind of.
Cartoon DNA.
It didn't ignore the second and third films, but certainly didn't reference them, which is fine. And the step in quality between a shit sequel and the reboot-ish, if we get like as good a reboot with Star Wars Episode 7 compared to Episode 3, I'll be happy. It doesn't have to go as good as the original trilogy, but if it's that much better than the prequel trilogy than Jurassic Park World is than Jurassic Park 3, yeah, shut up. I'll be very happy.
Jurassic Park World.
Yeah,
I keep calling it one thing. It's fine.
Tell you what, I did like the use of both CG and animatronics.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Because I was worried that they were just going to go with CG all the way through.
I
But
think again that was a nod back to the original.
yeah,
It still relied very heavily on
CG.
CG. Well, yeah,
It was done well there.
It was.
You
It
saw
was.
it in IMAX, didn't you?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
possibly the best use of CG I've seen this year. I'll have to rejig my movie awards list, but it's not going to go above Mad Max because fully practical always will beat CG in my
Exploding
opinion.
cars, yeah.
But it's a bit hard to get a real dinosaur.
I should just clone them.
yeah, just go full Jurassic Park in the real world to record a Jurassic Park movie.
So, are we recommending this for other people to go and see if they haven't seen it? I'm assuming every one of our 30 listeners has probably already seen it by now.
30.
Yeah, we
Some
wish.
people listen to it twice. I would recommend people go.
I
and
would
see
as
it.
well.
It's a good
I would.
way to
I-
spend a couple of hours.
I'd go and see it again. There's not much coming out in June. I might go and see it again.
I think the question is, would you pay to go watch it?
Yeah.
I probably would.
Actively, we don't pay to watch films.
I
Probably-
paid for my friend to go and watch
I
it.
Yeah.
paid for it.
Well, yeah, you did.
Yeah, because I went to a crappy cinema.
It's like £2.50 or something at yours, isn't it?
I pay that.
I paid 20 quid fully for like 2 tickets and a load of drinks and snacks and stuff.
I would definitely pay to see it, but I wouldn't pay to see it a second time, whereas since I get it free, I will go and see it a second time for free.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I'd recommend watching it once if you haven't seen it, but I wouldn't bother going second
And
time.
I think if you're a fan of the original Jurassic Park, you will really enjoy this one just because it's very respectful. And yeah,
Oh, I will just say that when we were in
The
the, car
magic's
on
still
the way
there.
home, my friend who came to the cinema with us
yeah.
told me that she's been informed that Colchester is getting a Cineworld in 2018.
I believe, yeah. Isn't it in Stanway?
Maybe.
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent news.
On that bombshell.
On that bombshell. La, 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 it's a dinosaur. La, 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 dinosaur.
Time for me to go back. Right.
Alright, bye everyone. Thanks for listening. That is fucking air.
Yes. How's that for preparation?
What I should do really is just record everything.
Yeah.
As soon as we get in the room, I'll record.
Because we're quite funny to begin with.
Yeah, and then I'll just, like, after the podcast's over, I'll just put, like, a behind-the-scenes bit of audio on.
Yeah, you should do. Because you're always recording it to test what we sound like.
Yeah.
Martin saying I'm not funny.